Man, welcome to the Aaron O Show. Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Yes, Wednesday edition. What's going on? What's going on? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope everybody's doing well. Give me 1 second. The sound is bothering. Back at it, rocking, rolling. We ready to go. Real quick, shout out to my brother Ricky Webster. Definitely shot me a cash app even before the freaking show started. I appreciate you, Ricky. Uh it's been a crazy couple days, people. Crazy couple days. So, first of all, let me just say, shout out to everybody that emailed me, inboxed me to show a lot of love. I try to get back to everybody, and I think I hopefully pretty much did. If I didn't, not personal. Appreciate it. I just haven't been able to get around to everybody. Because as you guys know, I'm working really, really hard to get back my time. And that means I have to pull from areas in which I have, I don't know which is the right words, lent out my time. And so I'm trying to acquire it back little by little. Okay. Little by little. So that's just what it is. I got to figure out how to make that happen. But that's what I'm working on. Let me see here. Yeah, this here. But other than that, we good. So, I want to briefly talk about updates, and then I'm going to get into the show. All right, first things first. First things first. I don't know where to start at, so let me figure out where to start. Okay, this is where I'll start. Yeah, I'm not even sure. There's a lot of questions around what is going to happen. And I'm not going to lie to you. I don't have all the answers to that. So I'm just going to tell you what I know, and then we're going to get to the show. All right. So, Azanika, when I look into the air, it's because I'm thinking. I better start the show by saying hi, B Rose, before I get in trouble. Tony, I appreciate it, bro. He said he's not staying alone, just showing some love. Appreciate it, Tony. Briefly, I will say, hey, Miss Doris. That's what I'll say. All right. So when it comes to Fight Club, well, let's start from here. On Fight Club, we have a lot of mixed opinions. That stuff doesn't bother me. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. You guys know that stuff is not very much impacting on me. Although I do consider people's views and opinions, unfortunately, sometimes to my own demise. So on Fight Club, well, let's just say this. I've been trying to get a lot of stuff done. Stuff on my channel, stuff done for Fight Club, and it's a lot of work to put in. And I got to balance that. What up, Ronnie? And so what that means is this. I believe in starting, not being overly cautious, because if you Wait and wait and wait. You'll never begin. Black Moolah, what up? You'll never begin. So when it comes to Fight Club, what happened? I put together a concept, which I really like the concept, but I didn't want to spend another, because I spend a lot of time in my head, right? Putting things together, thinking, which prevents most people from ever starting something. They just sit there and overthink, right? You guys know what the actual phrase for it is. I'm not going to say it, but you know what it is. And so the ideas come to my mind and I say, you know what, just put it out there. And then you'll adjust and you'll fix things on the go, which is what I tell people. Hey guys, I'm putting something together. I'll figure it out. We're going to put it out there and then we'll figure it out as we go. Right now, even if I tell people I want to put things out, we're going to figure it out as we go. Doesn't matter to people. Doesn't matter at all. Right. So, for example, Angry Man won the King of Fight Club on the vote, right? The reason it started with the vote is because I just wanted to get the concept started. That was the whole goal in my head. So let me just get it started and I will figure out and go from there, because we can adjust and build on the go. Otherwise, you'll never start. Ask anybody that overthinks and they're still thinking 20 years later. They're like, man, I thought I had a good idea, but I thought about it too much and I didn't know if this worked and that worked. I've seen it happen countlessly to people in my lifetime. People that said, I wish I would have started this business. I wish I would have did this. I wish I would have copywritten this. That's what happens to people. So one thing about me is I try to learn from other people's mistakes. I'm not afraid to make mistakes. It is what it is. That's not a problem for me. But I'm decently good at trying to communicate with people. And I thought for the most part, I do an effective job. However, you cannot please everybody. That's not the goal, right? Paperboy, what up? Now, concept came out. It went crazy. And the thought process is this. I can think of a million things, right? But I cannot see what I cannot see. I cannot. So I don't know what's around that corner. I don't know what's there. I cannot see what I can't see. So what I'm going to do is let it play out and go from there. That's what's my mindset is. I'm going to let it play out, go from there. No matter how crazy it gets, we'll see how it goes. That's my thought, right? Now, so what happens is this. We get the votes going. We finally get the concept going. I'm like, whew, because mind you, I'm still working on the concept on my show. I'm trying to get the stock market stuff that I want to discuss with my people that want to discuss that. I'm still working on getting that done I got Grizz that really been wanting me to do that. I got Peter the Investor. I got a lot of people that say, hey, bro, let's focus some content and conversations around that. Cool. That's what I want to do. I've been pushing that off. I've been pushing the King of Fight Club off, trying to figure it out. But if I overthink, it'll never start, right? So I just started it and I shared my thoughts and it went crazy and people were upset. Fine, right? I can adjust. It's not a big deal to me, right? Now, did I have any idea of what would happen? No. There are a lot of people saying all kind of crazy things. Let me give you an example. $200 is a little bit of money. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. It's not to me, right? So the thought is, okay, all right. I'm going to just share with you guys some of my thoughts because I don't share everything in my mind because my mind is for me. It's for me and it's not for everybody else. So I keep a lot to myself because I have a lot of things riding on my shoulders, a lot of things I have to balance in real life. So I don't let anybody get enough inside my head to destroy me, right? So I'm going to destroy myself before I let anybody else do it, right? So, hey, Cassandra. Now, that happens, and I say, man, we get a king we don't like because I don't know who's going to win. Some of you guys might say, you know, whatever, that's your opinion, right? But I didn't know. I'm like, man, I don't know what's going to happen because I don't know how this vote. Some people might vote, they might not. I couldn't find the best website to get all the people on the one vote, so I had to just quickly put it together because I wanted to start. That's the important thing, right? Now, that happens. Angry Man's about to win. I'm like, cool. All right, we're going to see. The reason why the king concept exists, I'm going to tell y'all this, right? Because I wanted to see what other people would come up with if they had free reins to kind of do it. What ideas would they put out there? What maybe do they want that they haven't expressed, right? It's my mindset. I'm like, oh, we get a bunch of people, they'll figure it out. Cool. Now, y'all say $200 not a lot of money. I think it is, right? So I wanted to make sure it's enough of a deterrent, right? To where people are like, man, $200, I don't know about that. And then enough to where people are like, well, just in case to get a little crazy, I don't like this king. We're going to get rid of him. That's the mindset because I don't know who was going to win, right? So I said, okay, we got to have a clause in there just in case because I'm not about to set us all the way up for failure, but I don't know what to expect, right? Fatty, what up? And I'll get to Team Fatty in just a second, right? So that's what happened. And listen, in the middle of the show, somebody goes, oh, that's the concept? Immediately go, boom. I'm like, whoa. Now, mind you, I try to maintain my frame all the time, right? But I'm not gonna lie, I was a little shocked. I look at my phone like, oh shoot. I'm like, okay, they probably been. And then I'm like, oh, they not playing. Okay, now I'm stuck with, dang, I'm like, I wasn't expecting this to happen today. But now I'm stuck with, okay, do I honor it or do I ignore it? I have to honor it. Everybody knows it is what it is, right? You spend your money, you have to honor it. That's just the truth, right? Now, because of that, Sherelle ends up becoming the king. Cool, whatever, no problem, right? Now, here's the entertaining part about it, right? Because I want people to see what people think like, operate like, I let things play out. I do it all the time on Fight Club, somebody going there, let it play out. Let them show you who they are. Let them show you how they think, etc. Right? So if you see Jay Prince, Fatty, somebody going at it, Anton, Angry, whatever, they going at it, I'm like, go ahead, let them. It's them. Let them be them, right? And I let it play out because that's just what I normally do. Okay. Now, Sherelle goes crazy as well. I don't know if I should say I expect that, but I don't know what she was thinking. Now, she goes and makes some crazy rules, right? Now, mind you, they are rules that kind of conflict, right? But I wanted to see just how far crazy people think or willing to go. And I'm like, let it play out. So mind you, Sherelle goes, and mind you, Sherelle is the king. It is what it is, right? So Sherelle goes, I can drop anybody. Well, actually, I should have somebody else recite them because I don't remember them verbatim, but I can drop anybody from the panel, right? Sure, within reason, right? Now, here's the downside to what some of the things Sherelle said that's going to mess up. Jay Prince, what up? One thing Sherelle probably did, I don't know if she actually did it, but she cannot do, which I didn't stop because I wanted to watch everything play out, right? One, she cannot boot members from the channel. The members are already excluded from being booted. That's just how it goes. But I didn't mind to see what was in people's head of what they would want to do if they could. So I had to let it play out because I can make adjustments. You know, I mean, it's not the end of the world, right? So I'm like, okay, in my head, I'm like, okay, yeah, she wilding, but man, it's the king, first day, let it play out, right? Now, she can't really time out the members, whatever cases. She goes, says some other crazy stuff, and whatever, right? You guys get to determine, Diesel, what up? Ultimately, you guys will get to determine based upon how everything is laid out, who the king will be, how long you want to let him reign, and things like that. Now, she says, I can drop anybody from the panel. Okay, fine. Now, made people, you probably could drop them twice because that's within the rules, but whatever, drop them at the thing, fine, whatever the case is, right? Jay Prince like, oh, but only 2 times? Yeah, Jay Prince within the rules, but I want to let it play out. That's one, right? Now, because of that, right? Because she said drop anybody at any time, the downside is she cannot bring back or bring up anybody at any time. Only down, because those are her words, right? Same thing in the chat, excluding the members because the members are already part of the concept. They are excluded from that, right? Within reasoning. So I'm like, cool. And then the last one, she said, half off all the bounties. I'm tired of y'all talking. I want my people to, and I'm like, cool, right? That's the 3 she wanted to go with. You know, I'm like, interesting. But I wanted to let things play out so I can kind of get an understanding, right? That's just the truth. And that's just the case, right? And y'all saw what happens. It is what it is. Now, everybody has strong opinions about it. People say the things I don't necessarily like. it's a setup. They people in. I'm like, been doing this a long time. For what? Why would I want to waste my time to do that? But that's not the point, right? So actually, Sherelle, that's not true. No, you cannot. You cannot. You cannot. Oh, you know what? I'll look that up later. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm trying to pay attention to what she said, but it went by too fast. Anyway, so but either way, let it play out. Cool, right? Now, everybody has their views, opinions. That's fine. It's not a big deal to me, right? Now, let's see. But that's what the thought process going into it, right? Now, mind you, after the show went crazy, which I expected to go crazy, who cares, right? I said, let me get people's insight. Let me see what people thought, right? See where they're thinking, right? Now, mind you, Fatty comes up, he shares his thoughts, which I thought his critique or his perspective was very fair and honest about, especially about who he is, right? So I appreciated that from him, like, because me and in my opinion, you can ask him. Me and Fatty have a good relationship. We probably got into an argument once or twice a long time ago. Like I probably disagreed or argued with somebody before. But if you spend enough time with me, you know one thing about me. One, I'm not a hater, and I show a lot of love to everybody. That's just a genuine truth. But sometimes when you get to know people, you might not catch that from the jump. So I take his words and his encouragement for me to be about supporting me and what he really honestly thought, because he is somebody that is an avid supporter of Fight Club, and I personally think his thoughts are genuine when he's trying to support the show. So if anybody is questioning what his thoughts is, my personal opinion is they're genuine when they're dealing, especially in support of me and Fight Club. That's just my personal opinion, right? Same thing if I'm talking to Jay Prince. Same thing if I'm talking to anybody around me. They are pretty much genuine people with me. Now, I cannot speak for nobody else. If y'all have different relationship with them and this is that, that's on y'all. But my relationship with people is good. So I don't take things coming from this particular place. It is what it is, right? So that's how I looked at there. Now, all this other stuff, I really genuinely does not matter to me, right? I'm already expensing a lot of time and energy into this, on top of the fact that I'm outside leaving my home every single day because I actually go to work. I don't have a car, so I actually walk so I can stay in shape and feel better because I can't afford it. And so my days are fine. It's just long days. And so all that stuff transpiring, people feel this way about me, fine. Everybody don't need to like me. Everybody don't need to be my friend. It's not a big deal to me, right? But ultimately, during this whole process, it really hit me like, man, I'm spending a lot of energy in this. And at some point, I'm going to have to leave. I'm going to have to go. What's going to happen then? So it all came and hit me at one moment, okay? Hit me at one moment. And I'm like, man, this is crazy. But yeah, there's going to have to come a day where it's going to end. It never hit me, right? Me and Brittany, Sherelle, we talk about it all the time. Man, can't do this forever. But it never hit me. And in that moment, it really hit me. I'm like, you know what? My days might be coming to an end. Genuinely, right? And that was the first moment of clarity where I'm like, damn, it's really going to be over one day. And so that's what you guys got to experience, right? It's not that I think people don't like me. It's not. Listen, look, it's mentally, I have no issues. It's fine. You guys saw me dealing with this in real time. Like, man, I might really have to be done. I might really have to go, and it hurts, right? And it's difficult because I put a lot of time in this. I'm very big on loyalty with everybody around me. Me personally, people have their own experience. I'm a man of my word. If I say I'm going to do something, it gets done. I haven't met anybody that has argued against that or have given any proof otherwise, right? In a serious thing. I'm not talking about like, I said I would play basketball and I don't play basketball with you. Because even then I don't do it, right? I'm very loyal to Anton, okay? That's my guy. I spoke to him on the phone the other day. We had a conversation. I'm not going to go in depth about what we talked about, but he just 100% supportive of whatever I want to do, however I want to do it. He just got my back. He's like, whatever you need, let me know. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm struggling going back and forth, trying to figure out how I'm going to either continue to do this or what I'm going to, can I have somebody else do it? Because I don't want it to stop, but I don't know how it can go. So that's a tough balance that I have to figure out, right? And it is what it is. But shout out to Jay Prince. Jay Prince hit me, showed me a lot of love, reached out to me. And he just sent me a message. And I was like, okay. And I respect what he was saying. And so I heard him. And a lot of people send me messages. And I think I try to respond to everybody. I take what you guys say to me very seriously. I take it to heart. And I respect everybody, especially people that got love for me. I don't take that for granted. People that dislike me, it does not bother me at all. Does not affect me at all. I focus on the people that rock with me. I don't really care so much about the people that don't. But that's just what's been transpiring. So I talked to Anton. I'm still trying to figure that out. You know what I mean? It's a lot, man. It's a lot on my plate. There's a lot of things I'm dealing with in real life that I wouldn't necessarily want anybody else to have to deal with it. But it's my responsibility to deal with it. I can't really push it off on nobody else. And I have to do it the only way I know how. So that's just the case. And that's what's been happening. So I will figure that out. I'm trying to do my best. I got a relationship built with a lot of people. Either Man is my guy. He runs Thursdays. I've been committed to that, having his back, helping him run the show, supporting him, getting his thoughts out. And there's a lot of other people that I might end up having a show like that to where I can build with them and help them create their show and push it and have a lot of fun with it, right? And so it's a lot. It's a lot. And if you guys don't understand, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time. And I'm torn between how much time to give to everybody else and who I'm stealing time away from, who is not necessarily getting my time because I'm allocating in so many different areas and I'm only one man. And so I'm still balancing that out the best that I can do. And that's where I'm at with that. And it is what it is. There's nothing really more I can do about it. To be perfectly candid, to be perfectly honest with you, there's really nothing more I can do about it until it hits me. I'm going to go from there. And that's what I have to say on those things as far as that. So, like I said, the last 2 days, roughly, I've been just disconnected from the internet. So I'm not watching what's going on. I'm not watching people's shows like that. Of course, I'm working. So it's hard to pay attention to what's going on while you're at work. But I try normally to listen in the background when I'm working. But I've just been disconnected, right? Because I've been trying to draw my time back and then get some clarity and try to think. That's just the case. Spence, what up? And that's where I stand with it. So people are entitled to feel and think what they want to think. Take a sabbatical. Let's say this, right? I have a lot of vacation time at work because I don't take a lot of time off. I probably worked 10 plus years without taking one vacation day. Or a sick day, to be honest with you. So I don't really quit things and I don't really stop things. I just keep pushing through, right? So there becomes a limit where I must balance it. And I don't know how to get to that point because there is no balancing of your life. Ask anybody that speaks about, my bad, JJ. Ask anybody that think that they can balance their life. They're out of their mind. They're out of their mind. And I know I can't balance it, but I need to at least shift it a little bit. Honestly. And that's just where I'm at with it. And once I know more, I try to share with you guys. But as far as that, I'm trying to figure that out. I'm trying to see if I can allocate enough time to continue things to be going, or I have to stop or find something else. That's just the honest truth. Either Man show just got rocking. I don't want to stop that from going, so I want to make sure people ask me, is that going to Either Man? That's my guy. That show's going to keep going on. I might find another person to do a show with during the week because I like doing those type of shows where I can pull back just a little bit and allow other people's minds and personalities to really shine. And so I got to figure that out. But I don't know. So I'm just going to be honest with you guys. When you guys ask me about Fight Club right now in this moment, I do not know. I do not know. I don't know. To be honest, the first person that's going to know is probably Anton. If I know anything, it's going to be him first. And I will figure that out. It is what it is. And so a lot of people reached out to me. And so we'll go from there. But that's just what's the case was going on. But in the fun time, let's just be honest about it. It's good content for everybody else. This is a content spree thing for people to grab hold to and whatnot. But honestly, I'm not tripping like that. I am as calm and open-minded as probably anybody you're probably ever going to meet. I can understand somebody doing some wild, crazy things, even though you don't agree with it, and I can understand why they did it, and I wouldn't be mad because I understand why they did it. It's hard to be upset with something you understand. So it is what it is. But Azanika says, spending your weekends. Azanika, I'll say this, and then I want to there are a lot of people that hit me that said, yo, I never comment in the chat. I never say anything, but I've been watching your show. I've been watching Fight Club. Man, you really, really helped me out through this time. You really been, when I ain't got nothing, you do this and do that. It hit me. I'm like, and I always say, I do it for one or two people just to impact people the best that I can. So I got people that I never even knew existed because they don't type, they don't chat, they just watch. And so it's hard to walk away from those people. It's hard when you know that you impacting people. It's hard, especially when you don't necessarily have a transition in place. So I don't have a lot of time to figure that out between now and Friday. I don't have a lot of options. And that's just where we stand on that. What else was brought up? So hopefully, I think that covers all y'all guys' questions. I don't know if it does, but hopefully it does. Let me shout out to the super chats. Omar Smith, shout out to my brother. Oh, he says, salam family. I miss having O pop up on my shows, man. I miss having O pop up every once in a while just to give some free game because I need it sometimes. Never, ever, ever push away your OGs, man. They got the game and they care about you, even if you can't see it. I've been fortunate enough that I've always been able to see it. I've never rejected it, and I've always appreciated it. So that's what it is. Shout out to Tony, says, not staying alone, just showing love. Shout out to you, bro. I appreciate you. The Real Bravado Network says, introducing myself, brother. I just heard about that trash that went down on Fight Club. Brother, just do you. Yeah, no, I appreciate that, bro. I mean, it's the internet. Don't ever think I done forgot what the internet is. It's literally the internet. LeGarrette, what up? He said, my dog. Shout out to you, bro. I appreciate it. Miss Parker says, a great book, Boundaries by Dr. Henry Cloud. Oh, let me write that down. Hold on. Boundaries. Henry Cloud. Always keep a pen around because you might need to write something down. Thank you, Miss Parker. I appreciate that. I will look into that. It sounds like Miss Parker want me to quit. I'm him. What up? But that's where my thoughts are. Hopefully, I've answered most of you guys' questions. If I haven't, there's just not a question that I can't answer. Shout out to Kingdom Minded. Sent me what from the Cash App. And shout out to my brother Peter, the investor, always holding me down. So hopefully, I answered those questions. That's all I can answer. I don't have any other insider thoughts to other things. If something has been going on the last few days, I haven't heard it. I don't watch nobody's live, so people are dissing me. People are talking about me. I'm not going to respond, and two, I don't care. So If you have a problem with me personally, you can either speak to me personally if we have a relationship to even speak to about. If not, if you speaking about me, dissing me makes your content better, bless you. But I don't know if it does. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, because I know that's what you guys' real initial questions are, right? Let us get to the show. Kid said it's for content. Yeah, it might be. Or look, they might really not like me. Somebody said I'm taking questions. I'm working on that concept now. But like it took me a while to come up with the King of Fight Club concept and work through the kinks and all these type of things. It's going to take me a minute because I've been taking time away from that and allocating that. So now I have to, spend some time on the stock stuff, which I'm spending a lot of time with. Plus, personally, I have a real life in which I allocate things to that personally. So I'll balance it. I will figure it out. What up? Now, another interesting thing is while I was at work, guess they ordered some new water. Or actually, maybe it was just a coworker that did it, but they sent this water in. I'm gonna try it. It's I don't know what it is. Something called hint, right? JJ, that's not funny. Of course, I have a real life. Okay, I'm 70% incel, so I'm gonna try this water out. If I don't like it, I'm going to go back to the water that I like. But it is what it is. Hey, Tia. Sherelle said it's nasty. We're going to find out, Sherelle, because be honest with you, I don't know. Let's see. You know what? I prefer regular water. But I'm not going to waste no water. I ain't wasting no water, so I'm going to drink that water even though it's not the best water I've had, but I ain't wasting no water. Y'all can act like y'all grew up in that mansion on the hills, but not me. No. I'm going to enjoy that water. Now, B-Roll said it's the aftertaste. There is an aftertaste. And I normally don't have any flavor in my water, but it was we had it at work. I said, I'll try it. JJ, that's not Kool-Aid, bro. That is not Kool-Aid. Now, we're going to get into the show. This is what I want to discuss today, and we'll see how it goes. In particular, I would like to speak to the ladies in particular, because, and it doesn't just have to be ladies, but in particular, the ladies when it comes to sassy men. I've been hearing that a lot lately. And I don't understand why they've been saying sassy men a lot. So I'm trying to figure out what that means, because I don't even know what that is. So let me see here. Hold on. Let me see here. I'm going to pin the link for only a woman, because I don't want a man to tell me what sassy is to a man, okay? I have no interest in it. I want to know what it means to a woman, not to a man. No man come up here talking about, I know what sassy is because I don't know what it means. But I saw it, so I will want to get some insight onto what sassy men are, right? Once a lady is prepared to tell me that, we'll do that. And in the meantime, I saw this video. And I got to play it. Let me see if I can pull it up. Hold on one second. Here it is. I saw this video and I got to play it. Now, let me see what Sherelle said. Hold on. Terrell, I'm not sure what you sent me, but yeah, I got most of the message, whatever you sent me. I will respond to you if you needed me to. But I want to talk about this video here. This is a video from my city. You know what I'm saying? My city. Hold on 1 second here. I just want to elevate myself. Oh, yeah, much better. Done. Okay, I'm a little bit bigger there. Now, This is a video from my city. I just want you to watch it. Don't judge, okay? This is a no judgment zone, okay? It's a no judgment zone. No judgment zone, B. No judgment. They spooked. Look at Shorty standing on her. She's standing on top of her luggage. She terrified, right? Look at that. Look at she. One of them jumping on her man. That's crazy, ladies. Y'all. Look at her, terrified. That's crazy. Oh man. Dang, you just don't book, man. No respect for wildlife. No respect for wildlife at all. Just the disrespect. The disrespect. Okay. I ended up seeing that video, right? And I was like, that's crazy. But it's in the city. It's in the city. So I said, all right, no doubt. Look, I ain't never seen that in my city, but they got video footage of it. So I'm not going to deny it. I'm not going to sit there and act like it ain't real. You know what I mean? Stuff happens, right? So I thought that was a little crazy. I'm not going to front. Now, everybody always talking about my city this, my city that, right? But that was a crazy video. I think that lady was terrified, but at least she had a man to save her. Now, how many of y'all are scared of rats? Let me see here. It's a lot of y'all scared of rats. Okay, bet. How many of y'all are scared of rats? Yeah, Master Splinter's cousin. No, Lauren, that's not Master Splinter's cousin. Because while I was surfing the internet, I end up seeing this video. Now, y'all tell me what y'all see here. Y'all tell me what y'all see here on this video, okay? Y'all tell me what y'all see here. Because this a little bit different. Is that a groundhog? What is that? Is that like a mini raccoon? Woo wee! Oh, you gotta be crazy. That's in New York City? Oh, that's in New York City. Oh. I didn't know they had like mini mountain lions out there. I didn't know they had many mountain lions out there. It's different out there. It's different out there. That's all I'm gonna say. So look, hey, shout out to everybody from NY. It's different out there. I don't know what that is. But listen, y'all different. Y'all are different. And I respect it. Because I don't want to know nothing about it. I don't want to know nothing about it. Now, but fight it. Come on, fight it. Don't do me like that. I'm just showing the video. I'm an innocent man. I'm showing the video of what I saw. It's not me. It's not me. Yeah, hey, big bad boy. I don't know what that was. I thought that was one of those groundhogs that pop up every Groundhog Day. I don't know what that was, but New York is different. New York is different. Sherelle, what do you want? You come up here to tell me what sassy men are or what?
I mean, these men are clearly in their soft girl era.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. Give me 1 second. Let me get to this other video real quick, and then we'll get into this sassiness in just a moment. I want to get people's thoughts on this other video. Sherwin Thomas, my brother, listen, says no New York slander. We got, bro, what did I say? You supposed to be mad at people in the chat. I showed the video, just like I showed a video in my city of a tiny, minuscule mice. All right. Then I showed a video in New York. Everything bigger in New York, right? That's what y'all say. So don't take that out on me. That's how y'all living up there. That ain't on me, brother. That is not on me. at all. But I do want to get your thoughts on this particular video here, Miss Sherells, since I have you here. Tell me what you think about this video here, okay? I'm gonna move us to the top where it's more space up here, right? Tell me what you think about this video.
This girl does not cook. She does not clean.
Yes, I
Please
do.
tell me
I
how
do
she-
cook and
how she
clean. I
raised her
cook and
marriage.
clean on girlfriend level, not on wife level. Okay. When I'm the wife, I will start doing more. Now I'm girlfriend. What do you want me to do? Cook for you every day when I'm
What does
saying
that
you're
mean?
crazy. That is what it means. I cook and clean on the level at which I am, which is a girlfriend.
This girl does not cook.
What you think about that?
Why buy the cow when you can have the milk for free? That's the point there. She got a point.
You think she got a point?
Yeah, if somebody always doing stuff for the free, if your goal is marriage, then I mean, I think she's still going about it the wrong way because she probably just still there or whatever. But yeah, I guess it's certain things that men and women hold back on until they, feel like legally you're my wife, and that's something she's choosing to hold back on. I think this men hold back on some things too.
That's very, very possible. Very, very possible. Venus B, is that you?
Hi.
Hi, Yasmin.
The trio was coming. Tell you about these sassy men.
I do know
Sherelle sent out a
that
bat
they're gonna get it.
signal. Put a
You
bat
knew we
signal
was
out.
coming.
She's like, "Team, let's go." We said, "All right, we coming." So
I know they're
know what
gonna
you're
get into
talking
these
about.
sassy men. Okay. I just want to get Sherelle's brief thought. Did you guys see the video that I just played? What you guys thought about that?
No, I saw the bat signal, so I came for my boo, but I didn't see it. I don't know
No,
what
no,
y'all talking about.
no worries, no worries. I'll play it again one more time for the people. Okay. I'll put us at the top because the angle's at the top just much better. Okay. Listen to this.
Cook. She does not clean.
Yes, I
Please
do.
tell me
I
how
do
she-
cook and
how she
clean. I
raised her
cook and
marriage.
clean on girlfriend level, not on wife level. Okay. When I'm the wife, I will start doing more. Now I'm girlfriend. What do you want me to do? Cook for you every day when I'm
What does
saying you're
that mean?
crazy. That is what it means. I cook and clean on the level at which I am, which is a girlfriend.
This girl.
Girlfriend level. What you think about the girlfriend level?
I think it's real.
Okay. Do you agree with her, or you think that she's going about it the wrong way?
I mean, clearly it's wrong because they're disagreeing about it, but I think there is levels to it because clearly he's acting on a level, or at least she thinks he is. She thinks she's not getting husband privileges. So
That's a good point. That's a very fair point. Venus, any thoughts?
I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I was told why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free. So that has to be taken into consideration. But then I think Trigger Mike told me something I had to think about where he was like, a man finds a wife. So if you're not doing wifely duties when I meet you, I'm not going to think you're going to magically switch when I marry you. So I don't know. I'm kind of like 50-50 about how I feel about that.
That is a really good way to put it. It's a very, very good way to point it.
Yeah. That's her, I know.
Okay.
I know. I be knowing.
Yes,
Never
the team
get
is
me.
here. The team.
The whole squad is
Leave me
live.
behind,
period.
y'all.
No. We told you to come on.
I
You
saw
just
y'all.
a
I
little
went look
late.
at the group. I was yeah. But hi.
What's
Hey,
going on?
wife.
Y'all already know what I'm gonna say. Stop moving in with these niggas, okay? Stop cooking for these
Damn.
niggas.
Tell him.
Damn. What?
Do not
If you
let them
can't
even
file
set
taxes
you
with that
up to
man,
be
stop
the
moving with him.
cow, okay, sis?
Exactly.
Well, I mean,
I honestly don't think cohabitation is a good idea because men start to obviously they gonna want to eat. You fall into the habits of doing what is considered wifely or
Right.
husband
And to
duties.
be honest, you feel like you're restrictive when you're not. Because, of course, you
Exactly.
cook and clean for yourself every day. So I understand where the man is coming from, too. Like, yeah, you should cook and clean for me every day. Like, definitely understand what Venus is saying. Like, you should be a wife. And these are things you do for yourself. But she's still, like, it's still something in her that has a desire. And she doesn't want to feel like I'm giving myself completely up to this man. And he's using me at full access. And I may never get what I want from him. So she wants to pull something back or hold something back. And it may not be coming off right to him. You know, it's very confusing because it'll work sometimes, but most times I don't think that works.
Mm,
Well, what about this? This just popped in my mind. What if you were doing the wifely duties, right? But not all the time because you're not living with him. So he gets to see that side of you. What, like maybe when y'all spend time, but the
That's
difference is you're not
Yes,
like,
because see that's what you do. Like that's why you shouldn't live with him. So if you go to his house for a week, you cook and clean and show him what it would be like for me to be here full time, and you know what I'm saying.
yes,
You'll be getting this type of meal. Your house will be clean like this. This is the type of peace and
yes,
sex you'll be getting and da 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 or whatever, so that
No.
he could at least understand. You know what I'm saying? That
what
if
you're
you
capable
upgrade the
of.
package, they got some things that could come with it.
So he could go from basic to advanced.
because you're
So
not
the
gonna fold
basic
your
package
laundry
is
like
like,
I fold your laundry. You're not gonna cook like I cook for you. You
that's actually
definitely ain't
true.
gonna.
you definitely ain't gonna clean like we
I
clean.
agree
Yeah,
with
you're
that.
not gonna clean like a woman. A lot of women are OCD.
But I agree with that. But there's two factors that I will say briefly. One is that most of the time, if they're not living together, the woman wants to move together. It's usually not the man that are pushing that. And then two, uh, a lot of the times the women are in circumstances where they don't like where they're at or they need to get up out of there, and a man just so happens to fulfill that need, and so that it makes sense for them. So that's what you see happen a lot of times. Uh, but that will be for a different show when I break that down to why that happens. But I think that yeah, I actually like you guys' idea because that's probably something I would tell my sister or something. Yeah, you know what? If you're not already living with them, because if you already live with them, I had different perspective on it. But if you're not, yeah, you go by a few times a week or whatever. And be like, this is what I do when I'm here, and then when I'm not, you got to figure that out. So that's actually really smart.
I'm your sister. That's not what you told me.
First of all, we never had that conversation.
Wait, and
But
this is
uh,
my
but
last
since,
thing.
since y'all feel so strongly about that, which I expect y'all to do, and that's a very fair assessment. There's one more video that she was in that I saw, and I want to guys get your guys' thoughts on this one. Okay.
I buy you stuff.
Even the holidays that he's mentioning is even still a problem.
What about
Because when
holidays?
I ask him for holidays, it's not like he even still wants to provide as well.
Listen, this woman wants me to give her £15,000 for her to go on a 4-day trip to Miami.
Oh, okay.
The cost of living is just stupid these days, and she wants me to give her 15 grand so she go waste on
You
holiday.
already know how I live my
She
life.
lost her mind.
Yeah, I haven't lost my mind.
What do you think about that?
Um,
Those who can, and those who don't. Like we gotta be realistic. We look at Anton's life. We see that he lives a life that majority of us wouldn't live. We're not all going out and buy expensive cars and Rolexes and things like that. But if he can afford to live that lifestyle, then who are we to say that he shouldn't, right? So when a man is coming into a woman's life, he sees the lifestyle she's with. You know, you approached the girl that had on a damn Chanel bag, not a Michael Kors bag. So if you ain't got no Chanel money, you should probably leave that woman alone because that woman is at least expecting you to be able to maintain her lifestyle or upgrade it, right? So if you met her, she seems like she's very high scale anyway. You had her under the impression that you know you was going to take care of her, and if she's accustomed to going out of town and taking trips to Miami and things like that, she probably should feel like that you should do that for her. And that's not crazy because the people who live the lifestyles they live in. Some people pay $10,000 a month for rent, and some people are paying $600 a month for rent. So if that's the lifestyle she's capable of, and she's seeming like hinting at that she can afford that lifestyle, and that's what she's accustomed to, then I don't think that it's an issue.
So, oh, go ahead, Aaron. Were you gonna say something?
No, I was wanted to listen. I'm a listener.
Yeah. So that changed my answer a little bit, right?
Mhm.
Because at first he was giving entitlement. Like, what have you done for her to be entitled to pamper and take care of you, right? But if she's coming at that level of entitlement, then yeah, he has the right to expect something out of her. Like that is wife things. Like just like Sherelle said, if you met this girl with Chanel bags, designer, everything, nails done, hair done, you should expect that that woman wants to keep up that standard. But trips for a girlfriend is trips together. You want 15 grand to go take a trip by yourself and go have fun. That's wife stuff. That's dishing out allowances and gifts of like magnitude. No. Like, and you're not doing what I expect wife duties to be. I mean, that's kind of like a trade, you know? So if he was giving her like a birthday gift and it wasn't maybe up to a certain standard or he wasn't taking her out to certain places, that's him for not keeping up the standard of a woman. But she's expecting a level of entitlement that he doesn't even think she's earned. But then you don't be together then because you can't make someone be something they're not.
Yeah, I definitely think the lines are starting to get blurred in our society. It kind of seems like we live in that everybody wants to keep up with the Joneses. Oh, I have this. He does that for her. So there's a man out here that's gonna do that. It's a lot of men out here that's like, oh, I spend this, and that. I do this. I'm flying you out. I'm buying you this bag. I'm doing that. And I think it kind of sets a tone for a level of entitlement. I definitely think that if people were to stay in their own lanes, meaning like Sherelle said earlier, you got people that drop 10,000 maybe a day. That might not be nothing to them. So to them, that might not be a big deal. Then you have somebody else that's struggling to pay their $600 rent. So I definitely think it depends on the lifestyle that that person is living. I think you need to be very familiar with who you're dealing with so that you don't have that miscommunication. There's no misunderstanding. The expectation set at the beginning. I definitely think giving a woman $15,000 is white stuff though. Like I would never ask for that. I would never expect that from somebody that's not my husband. Like that's just me because I'm gonna feel like he's gonna expect something in return. Like, come on now, $15,000?
Mm.
Absolutely not.
So I think that I did the conversion. 15,000 pounds is 18,200 US dollars. He said 15,000 pounds, right?
Yeah.
I think that is ridiculous. 18,200 US dollars to go to Miami for 4 days is just dumb to me. I'm sorry. Like, even if he had that kind of money to give, it could be better used for like an investment or something that could actually add to the situation. I understand wanting to travel and have fun, but I just think that that number is crazy. In my opinion, that's crazy.
$15,000.
18K. Like what?
Yes. Let me read the super chats and I'll give you my thoughts on it. Lauren Mack says, ladies, men say they are better at domestic work than us. Should they do it and we work? That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work, Lauren. It's not. Grizz says, maybe black people don't like to work because when you want a promotion without over delivering, huh? Name any other instance where that happens at all. I don't know.
You know what?
Hold on.
Grizzly? That makes a lot of sense. I like that.
Look, Grizz make a lot of sense. Okay. Grizz also says, when do we blow their mind and reveal men settling for cooking, cleaning, and sex sometimes? Like, no way you really thought I'm this great man, but think the epitome of a companion is pressing start on a washer and dryer, right? Well, they're entitled to that. But here's the interesting part, right? I really don't care what her lifestyle was before she met him. I don't care if she told him, oh, you know, my lifestyle crazy. So if you're going to deal with me, yeah, your lifestyle crazy, cool. But if you want that lifestyle, that's only for a wife. Like, I wonder how much money you think a man should give a woman that's not his wife. Just out of curiosity. How much money you think a man should be giving that's not his wife?
I think that's up to that man and
It's
in his
subjective.
pockets.
Yeah, what he
Yeah,
can afford.
because I definitely know dudes who have disposable money who throw it frivolous. Like they throw the money. These girls aren't entitled for no reason. Like I said, if something doesn't have a market, then you know what I'm saying, we wouldn't even be complaining about it or whatever. But there are certain women, like women with status or these it girls who are able to finesse these men out of money, and these men are willingly giving them thousands of dollars.
So
Well,
the
let me say
perspective.
this. The same way I said that trigger might comment, right? About
Mhm.
he who finds a wife. The
Mhm.
same way he said, there's no way the man is going to think you're going to transform into this wife once I marry you if I don't see it before. This woman is not going to think you're going to transform into a provider unless she sees it before. So the idea that anybody who thinks you should give a woman nothing, yeah, that's not going to work.
So I'm in agreement with that, but the conflicting statement is providing. That's not provision.
Yes, it is provision.
No, It's not like
Yes, it is.
vacations are not provision.
Oh no, I didn't say that. I said give, because you said how much money should
Oh
somebody
yeah, yeah.
give?
So that's reasonable, but the if they're living together within reason, he's going to be spending money on her. But if they don't live together, she should get nothing
No, absolutely not.
because
Because again, then what about this relationship has shown me that you're a provider? You have not shown any level of provision.
no. So let me give you an example. So if they go out right on a date or something, the man should pay. Sure, when if they're going places, he should pay for it. Fine, no problem. Just like if she wants to come over every couple of days throughout the week and show she can cook and clean up the house and all that stuff to show her abilities, that's fair too, as long as they're not, living together. But if the man's not living with her, to pay for anything outside of events where he's present is insane to me.
No, it's not. So you don't believe in randomly getting your girl's nails done just because, or her hair done, or buying her small gifts? Like,
Okay.
you mean absolutely nothing outside of living? No, what?
So fair enough. I'm trying to get the understanding of who has way more benefits being single, the girl and all of the stuff that they can get without being married, or the man and all of the stuff that he can get without being married?
The girl.
So I think you women like being women. And when it comes to situations where it's going to be beneficial for you, you guys have this backdoor button where you're like, hey, I might want a guy to do that for me. So I'm not going to say it's wrong. You can just say that is kind of messed up, but I do like having that advantage as a woman. Because then
I can tell you why. Because I bet you every woman on this panel, including myself, have spent money on a man that they were with. That don't go one way. When you're in you're in a relationship, like women buy things for men too when they're together. We spend money too. Like it doesn't. You're saying a man should not spend any money outside of dates with her. Like that's not how that goes.
So to Venus's point, she's absolutely right. The same way a woman will look at a man wanting some sort of proof or acknowledgement of their provision, men don't want that proof and acknowledgement that we're not selfish. And a lot of times, especially if the woman isn't a great cook or isn't a great, maybe good at cleaning, those are like bare minimum to a man. So they're expecting some sort of, they want you to remember their birthdays or take them out on a trip. Like they'll even if they're not expecting a lot of time, they want that gesture in a big way too. Like especially men our age. Like they want gifts, they want shoes, they want
They
games.
will
Like
trip you for a date sometime. They like when you show up.
yeah.
Hey, I got tickets to this movie. I know you wanted to see it, and you already bought the tickets, or you already Oh, I don't feel like cooking. I'm gonna bring dinner over to your house tonight. Oh, I noticed you needed new like, t-shirts and underclothes and stuff, so I got
Like men,
you.
yeah.
So
Like we do stuff like that.
I will agree. Women do that stuff, but can I be honest? Y'all only gonna do that for a guy that's that guy. Y'all not doing that for just because that's who y'all are in general.
Cap.
No, that's cap, Aaron.
That is cap.
That is cap. No,
There are
don't.
plenty. You like literally out of every 100 million men in the world, there's 1,000 that guys. Y'all really don't understand that a lot of y'all are not that guy. Just like there's a bunch of women. You can put 100 women in a lineup. This is how a modeling cast is done. There's like 1,000 girls show up for a modeling cast. Only about 25 of those girls have the look, the it factor, the one that stands out from everybody. Why does everybody try to make it seem like we're only doing it for that? We don't even all have access to that guy. It's not that many that guys running around. So there's a bunch of mediocre average men who are not top earners or top looking or top in shape or the smartest in the world who still are dealing with women who are cooking and cleaning and sucking and doing all the above for them. That's so disingenuous.
It's true. Because you
But you
become
know
that
what,
guy
y'all?
to her. Y'all know how women are. You become that guy to her. Like once a woman's into you, she don't even care about none of that. Like she gets fixated. You ain't gotta be that guy. In her mind, you are.
Exactly. But Venus, to your point, I'm sure we all may have done this. I don't know for sure. I've had to catch myself sometimes because I think some of us are just generous in nature. But especially when we love you, we rock with
This
you,
was a
we find
girl
ourselves
panel.
doing a little
This
much.
is a girl panel. This is an all girl panel. Aaron and girls.
Why are you
Who's up
yelling?
here?
She's
I'm
yelling. I
just
don't know why she's
saying.
yelling.
The king has spoken.
Mother, can you make your mic louder, or is it me? Oh, she sound low to you guys?
She sounds all right.
No, she
Okay.
sound okay to me.
Okay. No, you, mother.
Oh, my Mac sounds low.
No, you sound good.
Oh, all
Oh,
right. My bad. Maybe it's me.
You
but
know,
You got
I
headphones? You
think
need
that we all
headphones.
have to realize. Well, for me, my biggest lesson is, unfortunately, you do and you do and you give a lot of times. I'm not saying that's just set to women. I think there are sometimes maybe men that do the same, and
hmm
then we expect
Oh no,
like
Aaron, get rid
to
of
have that
him. It's a
reciprocation.
man here, Aaron.
Why is this
Get him
male
out
on
of
the
Bye,
here.
panel?
Kiki.
Why
No,
is this
get
male
him out of here.
on the panel?
Get him out of here,
Aaron,
Why
Aaron.
is this male on
I
the
don't,
panel?
Aaron.
I don't
When
understand
she
why
sent the bat
aliens
signal,
is
she said it
talking.
was women. She said women pull up.
Sherelle can boot him if she wants. She's the king. Go.
Right. All hell King
Boy, hold
Sherelle.
on, Aaron. Aliens can do that. Aliens are allowed to control your panel.
Not aliens.
Yup,
Listen,
yup,
she got to suffer the
yup.
consequences if she wants to do that.
I
I
feel
Kiki,
don't.
don't start
I
no
don't want
outnumbered.
mess
no
up
problems in
here.
the family. I don't want no
Aaron, as a
problems.
woman, I feel outnumbered. It's one man to four women.
Yes.
That's interesting math.
Cheeky
It's
is
girl
coming to
math.
trigger us. Ladies, be united. Cheeky is
Ain't
coming
nobody
to trigger
coming to
us.
trigger you.
Okay, we
And
on you
it's
right. We
and
on board.
the
You
only
right.
thing that I find interesting, right? Because of course, when I'm around men that actually deal and are in relationships, when
hmm
women say they spend money on men, that's after you spend 500,000. It's a 10%, right? You spend 500,000, they
See
spend
how he
Men
gonna
500,
don't
knock him
even
out
Spend
have
there?
how
and then
spend
they
how
be
Get
many
him
like,
out of
"But
thousand?
I
$500,000.
here,
gave to them,
Aaron.
I gave so much, I
Get
gave
him
so
out of
much
here,
to the
He
Aaron.
men."
doesn't even have, men aren't
And
even having
it's so
5,000 or
crazy. It's
500,000 to
so crazy,
spend.
See,
Aaron.
y'all
They
wait,
try to
calm down. Calm down.
they
Y'all
sit here
already
trying
let
to
him trigger
they sit
y'all.
here trying to say they sit here trying to say women give just as much as men on a financial level, knowing good and well you go on 10 dates. Out of those 10, she paid for one. And while you're out and about on a vacation, whether you be in the country, out the country, wherever you at, your credit card or your debit card is the main source. You'll see more negatives in your account than she will due to the relationship. I don't know why they be
Why is he
capping.
up here?
So I'll say this, you're right. Maybe we give a third or even half as much as a man financially
Stop saying a third or half.
while we're
10%.
Okay,
giving,
okay,
excuse me,
okay.
10%.
sir, while we're giving
Don't
double as much,
overtalk her.
while we're
Exactly.
giving, while we're giving double as much emotionally, double as much physically.
What makes you you know it's so crazy.
Says a man
You
who is
you'll
not giving
say
anything up physically. Look at him. You
you'll
so right,
say
B.
Yes.
didn't you walk a mile in my shoes, you Martian? How about you be quiet? I gave them up very, very much so, and that's physical.
So
I
I
don't
know
feel like
Yeah,
I
you
yeah.
because
So
can,
I
be
did walk a
quiet.
mile in your
So
shoes.
I
So
don't
look,
I
feel
can
like
so it
I
talk.
means
can
I
be in
gave
my
you
Okay.
femininity with
and
all this
clothes off my
yelling.
back. So how
Aaron, we
about you
don't feel
stop all
we
that
can't rest
bullshit
in our
you saying?
femininity now. It got
Now,
combative all of a
with that
sudden.
being said,
That's
Aaron,
what I'm
I don't
saying. Y'all don't have a
understand.
problem giving it up. So why
I
y'all
don't
up here stunting? And
Aaron,
you
I don't
regular, you don't make $500,000 a year, or do you?
Aaron, like I said,
What
I
them
don't
janitor
understand.
checks looking like?
I'm sure you can't
She got all
calculate.
out of her
I'm
femininity
sure you
with
can't
chilling.
calculate human math. Cause
Rest
you
in your
talking crazy
femininity,
if you think
sis.
as a janitor I'm
Don't
making
let this
400,000.
cheeky bandit corrupt you. Rest in your
Exactly.
feminine energy like you were.
He
Okay.
just gave his honest viewpoint.
Right, and then
You know,
I didn't say nothing to none of the women. I said Aaron. I wasn't
You
talking to none of y'all.
we
Y'all so disrespectful, and I
Oh,
didn't
I'm
even say anything
sorry.
to y'all. I was talking to Aaron. I said,
I'm not
Aaron,
sorry.
it's
I'm
so
not sorry.
crazy. I said, Aaron, it's so crazy. I said his name very specifically. I said that very specifically, and what all the loudmouth women want to do,
You see
with
what
the
I'm
exception of
saying?
Mother J,
You see what
you
I'm
know,
saying?
perfect woman as she is.
Oh,
Tiki, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't
Aaron,
So
can you
flatter her. Don't
so
please?
flatter
Don't
her
Aaron,
and
turn me
try to
against my
separate us.
sister.
so Aaron,
He's
Aaron,
Exactly.
not
like
That's
I
the
was
conquer and
her.
Aaron,
divide
He's
tactic.
fighting the body
Compliment one to
Aaron,
infuriate the others.
Aaron, like I
We're
was saying
united.
Aaron,
before I was
Aaron.
rudely interrupted by
I
women I
feel like
wasn't talking
my
to.
voice is getting higher and I'm getting like he's triggering the ladies. We were chilling.
Okay, well let me talk to Aaron because that's my brother as well. Since everybody got relatives on the panel, Aaron, my brother,
Aaron, not your
I
brother.
don't understand. He not yours either. You a
He don't
Martian.
know
That man
you.
is
No,
strictly me
Aaron.
from
Doesn't
Earth.
know you.
Aaron is my brother, not
I don't know what
yours.
to
Why you still my
do.
All
brother?
right, just because your head built like Megamind and his built like it too, don't mean
But
he a
Your
he's
damn Levi.
sickle
insulting the
round earth
women.
head.
Now,
He's
Aaron,
disrespecting the
what
women.
what I need to understand is everything. I don't understand why when it comes to proportions, something can be so disproportionate, and they get credit as if it's proportionate. Maybe you can explain that. I don't. Well, I'm missing that part.
Yeah, that's a really good question, and I kind of know the answer, but I'm holding back on the answer until we get into that second part of the segment. When we start
Ah,
getting into the mental load in the village, that will reveal everything itself, actually.
okay,
So,
cool.
yeah, so I'm gonna get into the next video because this is the part of the video where I need the ladies to explain half of this stuff to me because this is the aspect that I don't know very well, and I seen it pop up on another show, and I start having to have to look into it. I'm like, what is this stuff? So this woman here was speaking to the men, the type of men that I guess women are saying that they're dealing with in 2023 and beyond. This is her thoughts.
Men have become really sassy. Sassy. Like all the like, and I'm talking about heterosexual men.
Give me an example of like sassiness.
When men say, I'm the prize.
Whoa. You don't believe men are the prize?
I believe we're both the prize. And I feel like any man that says he's the prize, come and get me, is feminine.
Come and get me?
Yeah.
Now that's
when men are like, you need to shoot your shot for what?
Shoot your shot.
Yeah.
No, that's definitely feminine.
That's sassy. It's so like soft to me. It's giving soft.
Because you're taking away the power of like the man.
Yeah. You should pursue. Like all the way. Men have
Super facts. Super facts.
She said a lot right there. That's very, very strong statement. What are your thoughts?
Aren't men originally like supposed to be the hunters, the conquerors, like she said, the pursuers, the leader, the dominant one? How you sitting there resting in your feminine energy waiting for me to come and conquer you? How that work? Absolutely not. The men are definitely feminine as hell. They have, for some reason, taken on a lot of the women's rhetoric, a lot of the women's perspective, and somehow turned it into their own perspectives instead of being men and doing what men do. If you notice, a lot of what they say are things that women have always said. But for some reason, a lot of today's men have what I call vagina envy, where they want to have the experience of a woman. So they try to position themselves into the position that women have always had. So now it's like, I want to be the bad bitch. Come get me. It's very feminine and it's just not cool.
I definitely think there's a line in the sand between men that still practice, I guess, what you would consider, I guess, masculine traits. I kind of hate using that word. That's all we ever hear. But and then the men that are kind of like, keep me, I'm the prize, take care of me, love me, focus on me, worship me, you silly woman, get your broom and do your dishes. Long as I pay the bills, I don't give a damn about your feelings. I'm the prize. Absolutely. That sound a little sassy to me. A little demanding.
Not to mention, they be getting their eyebrows done. They getting
Ooh,
extensions in their hair.
ooh.
They getting fake beards. They got the lace fronts. They got the glue. They going to the nail shop. They getting their toes and their nails done. Clear polish. And some of them got the black polish. Like they want the doors hold for them. They want their booties ate. They're very, sassy. Like they're not trying to get their hands dirty. They're not, rough like that. They're more soft and in touch with their feminine side and worrying about looking pretty and sucking on hookahs and feeling the vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Um, mm, I think men are calling themselves prizes because they want to be earned by women, but that also means that we get to decide your value and how hard we want to work for you.
Ooh,
And
that's the word.
so pick one, pick a struggle.
It's an interesting
Oh,
thought.
can I also say this too? The
Damn.
attitude. She spoke on the attitude, and that's very important.
Okay.
I expect women to an extent to be a little irrational, overly emotional, but a lot of the men now are very reactive, very argumentative, very easily triggered, like very, very much resting in their feminine all the way. And it's just like, I don't know how that works with another woman. and
Oh,
you in here acting like a woman too. Like that don't work.
that's dang. That video brought
That's
up.
not the real her. That's not the real her. Don't bring that one up.
I'm not doing nothing because I'm being very patient because this is a structured show, so there will be no errors here. Don't worry. This is a structured show.
Wait,
Uh,
wait. Somebody said they were in pocketbooks.
oh
And here
well.
we
She
Y'all
go
were
capped
in
with
up. She
the
got her
pocketbooks.
camera.
discussion.
She got her
Who
camera.
Oh no,
agrees
I listen. Callie said she was coming through in just a second. Let me get to
with
Grizz
it.
super
Hi,
chat. Grizz
Kelly.
says, "Imagine being that guy for some movie tickets, socks, and some Chipotle to go. I got to do all that for a high school sweetheart. It's tragic out here." Well, that's what they expect. Timeout is in the building. Says quantify double emotionally, double physically. Starfish, one fish. It's a good point, okay? Big Bad Bulls in the building says checking in, scooping in, and snatching that sponsor.
Gang.
Shout out to Big Bad Bull. I appreciate you, big dog. I know you're just looking out for me and showing some love. I see you every show. You always holding me down. I appreciate it. Grizz is back. He says, these the same men that are typically the CEOs and the generals, right? But you're in the workplace and don't want to take orders. The group up, the cap.
No,
So,
these are not the same men.
you
And if
know,
you have a CEO, there's thousands of employees underneath the CEO. There's not it's not the building is not full of CEOs. The majority of people are workers. Come on now, Grizz. Let's be real.
I don't know about that, Sherelle.
The
The way you look.
CEOs are the ones like Aaron. Aaron is the CEO where he works, but he has a bunch of employees.
So here's the downside, right? Because when I heard that, this is what I'm thinking, and I've kind of spoken about it to people before. I just want to ask y'all this question, and just out of curiosity, right? Because I personally think women approach the guys that they want, right? You just probably not a guy that they want. For example, right? Chris Brown don't tend to chase women. Don't tend to have to chase women. As a matter of fact, Chris Brown get paid $1,000 for you to take a picture with him. Now, there are a
And
lot
he
of
was still chasing Karunchi all around town. This man had two women put restraining orders on him.
Yeah, to
what
be
y'all
fair,
finish?
to be fair, he was coked out, and that was some years ago.
What y'all talking about?
Now that oh, he was. That's true.
No,
He
that's
was
facts.
coked out, and that was some years ago. But now that we're talking about the more recent time frame,
Lucky.
aka
Hey, Lucky.
Aaron's mentioning of the $1,000 pictures, yeah, no, it makes sense. The reason why men are acting as if they're the prize is because they're showing themselves to be the prize. You keep,
No.
you
Kiki, you've
keep,
been dropped. Goodbye.
Aaron, why you
no,
got him up here? It's like triggering.
no,
You said it was
no.
ladies only.
Listen.
He didn't say that.
First of all,
Yes, he did. You
No,
should
he
have
did.
came on
Stop. I
time.
did come on time. He said, I need ladies only to explain sassiness. I didn't make mention of sassiness at all. Learn to be quiet and listen. Martian, thank you.
he is pretty good
Stop
at that.
talking to me like you crazy, cheeky. Before I abuse my power.
Listen.
Speaking
Well,
of
I can
sassy,
abuse
let's
mine
not
too.
forget
It
the
ain't
let's
nothing.
not
Y'all
He's
better chill
making
out.
me
Cheeky,
Because
speaking
I'm
of
chilling.
sassy,
well,
let's not forget these
listen.
fat ass
The
I
pants
want
king
these men be
says,
wearing and posing in pictures with
King
duck
of
lips
Fight
and shit
Club.
like
Learn
that.
your
wait, no,
titles.
it don't
That is
matter.
sassy.
The king says we
Of
get
Fight
to
Club.
approve of all the men who come on the panel. If we got Cheeky, that man in the back right now cannot come on the panel. Cheeky has to go down. We will not handle both of them at the same time.
Okay, fair enough,
No.
ladies. That's listen. That's between y'all. If y'all want to,
we don't want none of
Y'all,
them.
we're gonna do a vote in the back. I'll tell y'all
I
who's back there as
Aaron.
the men come.
No. I don't even
Aaron,
care who it is. No.
and you know me. You know I tend to listen very well. I didn't come up here to explain sassiness.
I
I
know
did not.
they
Right.
let that one go. Venus caught it. Venus quick on her assessments there. She caught that. That's why she didn't say nothing. She know.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm
But
glad.
Sherelle is setting other parameters, so that's what she's on, and it is what it is.
When she said the bat signal, I thought it was a safe space because she said he want women. I want my money back.
Listen, you guys, listen. I'm with y'all. I love my ladies. I'm gonna always operate in the conversation that we're in. If y'all are indicating that Cheeky is
No,
problematic for
Cheeky is
y'all,
safe. Cheeky is safe. We love Cheeky. We're just
oh,
joking
okay,
with
because
him.
I was
We
gonna have
love
to get
Cheeky.
that on record. I was like,
I'd have been
wow.
dropped him. We love
Now,
Cheeky. He's safe.
now
He
the
is
thing
trying to
is,
trigger us
Aaron.
though.
No, I'm not trying to trigger anybody.
I am triggered.
I see what's going on. Whenever I see Aaron versus 5, 6, 7, I come up. It's routine. It never fails because when he's by himself and he's rocking, I don't come up. Or if I come up, it's very quick and I go back down. But when I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, nah, y'all not finna jump my bro. I'm
What are
sorry.
you trying to say about black women? Because Aaron, did we attack you at
Did I
all,
say anything about black
or
women?
was it peaceful? We
Did I
didn't
say
attack him.
anything?
I
Did I
have a
say anything
peaceful
about
time
black
around
women?
ladies, so I cannot say that I've
The
been.
women have voted and they decided they want to bring this other
I
turtle
said no.
on.
I said no.
Oh
Oh
my
Jesus.
God, I'm out of
You
here.
was
The
outvoted.
podcast
Oh
got
wait,
it.
no.
I,
I know
That's
she got a lead podcast going back to the back.
that's between you and
I'm
Sherelle
about to
and
dip.
the ladies.
First of all, look, I don't mind the bias for the rules.
No.
I just don't mind. I just don't want Aaron up here by himself when I know some BS gonna be said. He gonna be chill about it.
Cheeky, please stay. Please
So
stay.
I'll see y'all.
No,
Y'all
Tiki,
be
please
sit
safe.
down and have a
stay.
seat. Dang, Tiki said nope.
That was a very sassy
He's so
exit.
toe up.
Not a sassy exit.
Oh
That is
wow.
cool.
What happened to podcast? Y'all booted him?
She had to put Cheeky down first before she pulled him up. But that's between the ladies and Sherelle. So
We can't have three smart men on the panel. Not the especially the three smartest men in this space. Come on now. No.
Hi, Beans.
Two
Yeah,
is
good
max. Y'all could
evening.
bring a dummy up here though. If any of the dumb men wanna volunteer, we will accept a dumb man. Y'all know who they all are.
there y'all go. So that's interesting when it comes to that sassy part. I have another video about this sassiness, and then I'm gonna have y'all probably break it down in better context of exactly what sassy is. Because I'm not gonna lie, I think it's a New York word or something. The way that they use it in slang, because I'm not exactly sure what sassy is, right? So I'm gonna need y'all to break that down for me.
Do y'all like a sassy man?
Hell no.
Whoa.
F all sassy men.
Yeah,
I agree. Men don't know
how
how to be men no more. Why are you giving me attitude for? Like, why am I trying to talk to you and you're over here side-eyeing me? Like, we're trying to have a conversation. Okay, I agree with that. Like, you over here putting your crazy. Yes. Side. I don't want to be more of a man than the man that I'm with. If that
Okay.
makes any sense. A lot of men get so mad that they put their women in masculine energies and they're like, why won't you let me lead you to where? To drown? You want to lead me to drown?
To
Like,
death.
where are you taking me?
To
Like,
death.
I've had a man tell me that he was the prize before.
Oh my God! What's wrong with that?
No, it's no. You can
There's
believe
nothing
it.
wrong with that.
No.
But it's
the fact
saying
you
it out
say
loud.
it to her, that is crazy.
Saying I'm the prize.
Right? Yes.
Sounds like being a sassy man is when you act like a woman.
Yeah. Exactly.
I feel like
Have-
there's something
start
I do
arguments.
that's sassy, bro.
Expose yourself.
I feel like this a lot.
Yo, my nigga look sassy.
That's hilarious, bro. I be feeling like this at work all the time.
Do y'all
Thoughts?
It sounds like I'm the leader. I'm the leader. I'm the prize. That's what it sounds like.
What happened to people just being in relationships and it just flowing? Why is it always so goddamn complicated? Can somebody help me understand? Is it social media? What is
Because
what's
we
going on?
complicate things. And hi, Aaron. It's been a minute. What's up, y'all?
I think we're gonna alternate between Cheeky and Beans. So
Well, I just want everybody to know the term sassy used to describe men is in homosexual behavior. So sassy doesn't mean you're necessarily gay. Respectfully, I don't know if that word is a trigger. But sassy pretty much means like you're more argumentative, you're more feisty, you're more I'm about to clap back and get back, like you stooping on catty behavior. So when we say like they're sassy, like I've used that before, usually it's when men try to think like women in arguments where a woman is literally going back and forth with a man as if it's a female. That's sassy behavior because men don't argue, especially with women. So I just want to make that clear. But what they're describing, I don't think is sassy. Like, I don't think it's sassy for a man to say he's the prize, especially if he know he is. What's wrong with that? Most of the time, women who say they're a prize, they can't tell you what is he winning fucking with you.
Do you think that's like an adjustment in the slangish type of word? Because these are younger women typically using this term. Because these are not typically 50-year-old men that they're
It's a
referencing.
shaming tactic to shame you for thinking. If you even try to step into the realm of saying, I'm this man, I know I've worked this much, I don't deserve this, or yes, I am this. So now you're dating women with that sense of confidence, also possibly letting them know that your shit stink and I don't have to be talking to you. You come a dime a dozen. That type of mentality, the shaming tactic to it comes with a different terminology, such as sassy. Oh, he being sassy. No, he's being very direct. You're not used to a man really being assertive and confident in their stance. So that's intimidating to women because most men aren't. So now when you have a shift of, or you have a man who has the audacity to not care about lying to you to get in your drawers because you do come a dime a dozen, now I have to have a shaming tactics because who are you? Most people tell me yes. That's literally what I got from it.
So for me, I don't think it's wrong with anybody believing that they're the prize, man or woman. But I do agree with even the men in that video that it just probably that's not something a man should run around saying. Because if you are that, we'll know when we around you. We know. Like,
Gotcha.
oh damn, I want to shit. You're gonna go tell your friends like, I'm trying to make sure I can make this work. I like you'll know, she'll know, and she'll let you know by the way she responds to you. So it's kind of like somebody telling you like, I'm smart, I'm smart, I'm smart. It's like, well, are you? Because I should just be able to see it. You shouldn't have to tell me. And the other thing I had was like the sassy thing. Yeah, I agree with Lucky. Usually, if I hear that next to a man, I think homosexual behavior is unfortunate, but that's what I think. Like a man who's being in his feminine too much.
Flamboyant.
So
Yeah,
so
and
don't take it as to the defined letter of the law. Take it in context in which they are expressing it, right? So we know they're talking about heterosexual men, right? We know that, right?
yeah.
And they're saying this is the energy in which they receive, and they're using the word sassy probably interchangeably for a different word I'm sure we could think of, and they're probably incorrectly using it, but let's just say for the context that the sassy just means this guy that kind of talk like that or express himself a certain way.
Well, okay. Well, I can tell you because I've said it before. The sassy, how we use it is basically, yeah, he's behaving like a woman. And I think
So
men don't
sassy behave like a
really
woman.
understand that if she's dating a man and she's interested in you, she likes men, right? So she's expecting men behavior. So it's off-putting to women when she's attracted to a man. She's not attracted to her friends. She's attracted to a man. But then you're behaving just like her other catty friends. You're gossipy, you're argumentative, you're
Facts.
snappy, you're feminine. I can't see the difference between you and my messy ass homegirls. That's a problem. I'm looking at you.
Especially if you act like you want to
That's
fight
fact.
her.
Oh my God, you running your mouth, you're slick style shady. And then I'm gonna tell you this. I and then y'all could disagree. I honestly think that it's worse when men act this way. Because I honestly don't think that women I don't think they're faking. I really think that that's just who they are. Like they're not pretending to be overly emotional and in touch with their feelings and stuff like that. I think that's chemicals like literally making us that way. We get sensitive, we PMS, we do all of that. I'm trying to figure out why are men PMSing?
Mhm.
Like
If
why are
you
you
don't even
cramping?
have
Why are you bleeding?
the
Why what
the estrogen
is
that I
it?
got going through my body, the monthly cycle, the things that happen literally in my body that affect me on a physiological level. How are you matching my behavior? That shit is insane. You should not be behaving like me. Like that doesn't make sense. Oh, but
These
yeah,
men want maternity leave and they're saying they go through postpartum. You
but
don't
I
know what
wanted to
sassy is?
wait, but to finish my point, I wanted to make that clear because I think a lot of men don't. Well, I won't say a lot, but certain men don't really take that into consideration. Like you being a physical man, that represents something in our mind, right? I'm expecting you to be a man and do man shit. I'm not expecting if I'm scared, you're scared too. If I'm in a snappy and shit, you're snappy too. If I'm giving silent treatment, you're giving silent treatment too. Like
Okay,
it's
okay,
like what the fuck?
okay. I got you.
Aaron,
Go ahead, Cheeky.
I see you writing stuff.
Oh my god.
Hmm?
Why you say, "Oh my gosh"? It's okay
You're
with your
triggering me.
sassy ass.
I'm allowed to be. Why are you sassy?
I didn't say you wasn't. I just called it. It is what it is. And
So
You
I
see what
see
I'm
you
saying
taking
about today's
notes.
man, Aaron? Look at it. Look
Little
at it.
sassy Walker
So
sitting
so
in the sun.
it's crazy, Aaron. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think one of the things that is considered masculine is being argumentative. That's been the case historically for years, that men have been argumentative and go back and forth with each other, and it's expected. As a matter of fact, it's recommended in the workplace, and that's what is known to be, uh, a thing for masculine men. So I think the problem that we have today is categorizing what's masculine and what's feminine, right? Ironically, me and B Rose had a conversation earlier today, and she was trying to do the same thing, basically trying to figure out how can you categorize these things. I think these things are being misplaced. I think a lot of these things that men are displaying and women just don't like, so they're finding ways, like Lucky is saying, to shame men.
Mm.
But it is what it is. I'm just curious to see what your notes are gonna say. But that was it,
so
though.
Okay, so
Can
wait.
so
I
This
ask
that's
is the
why I
you?
thing.
had
Wait, this is
Can I
the
ask
thing though.
Cheeky?
Wait,
Okay.
this is the thing. Women argumentative arguments and women screaming, all of that comes from an emotional place. Men usually argue from a logical place. That's how they were advancing in the workplace and things like this. But now men are arguing from the same place as women, their emotions. I feel, I feel, I feel, I feel. And men didn't used to be on some I feel like women will go crazy off, but it made me feel. And men were supposed to be the different ones, but now the men are going they're being argumentative because
Mm.
argumentative, I think anybody can be argumentative, even children can be argumentative. So it's like now it's coming from an emotional place more with the men instead of a logical place.
Man,
so
let me
okay.
piggyback on that real quick because yeah, it used to be you tell your man I feel, and he'll correct you and say I understand that's how you feel, but this is what it is, right? There's your feelings and here's reality. Now they and they feelings, you and your feelings, everybody feeling there is no reality, a bunch of bullshit. But I digress.
So I and Chiki's right, we did have a conversation. That's why I didn't take I'm not I think Terrell and Venus have an excellent point, but when I heard them say, "Why are you arguing with me?" A lot of times when women think a man's arguing with them, we can have the same conversation and it's how they're saying it to me, right? I think when I'm calling a man sassy, men aren't nice to women anymore. Like you're not you're snap at us for every little thing. You lack patience for us. Um, and a lot of that is yeah, I think calling men sassy is the like it's an insult, sure, but I think that's what it is. Like you're just not kind to us.
Mm. Um, I want Lucky to ask her question. I think she had a question.
Yeah, because I heard what Cheeky said. So when I'm talking about men don't usually argue, I come from a place where if a man got to argue with a female, he gonna hit her, because they understand the reason why we argue, and it must be violence shortly ahead. So I need to save my breath for combat. Usually, that's, I said where I'm from. I could be, I don't know
So
y'all experiences. So I wanted to ask Cheeky, when you mention that they do you normally see just in your experience that it's normal or masculine for men to actually argue with women?
Uh, so it depends on the situation. Like if I'm with some hood ass niggas and I see them any if I hear any decibel above one, I'm out of there because I don't trust them to have any self control. But in most cases, when I'm around people that have intelligence and know how to use their words and articulate themselves, hearing them being elevated doesn't really bother me because I know that those words are full of passion and they are full of emotion from both men and women. But the reason why men are going back and forth with women is because there's a level of respect for the intellect she's providing. Right? I'm not going to talk back and forth with somebody that's stupid. Now, if you're a woman and I'm having a conversation with you, or I'm trying to understand your point of view, and within me trying to understand that, you get very expressive emotionally, and my response is, well, since you're being emotional, I need a match so you understand I can go there as well. Then I think that's very different. But the problem is there isn't being any that no one's articulating to what degree something is sassy. It sounds
That's
like
exactly. Thank you, Cheeky. Because I was gonna ask you, can we define an argument? Because what you're saying, high pitch, I don't think that's an argument. To me, argument means we're not listening to each other. I'm gonna cut you off. I'm just trying to get my shit off, and I dare you to correct me, and we about to have a back and forth. There's usually no understanding with an argument. It's disrespect. But we can have, like, right now, someone would quote this as an argument because we have opposing views, but I
right.
wouldn't say that this is an argument. So yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, so
Fact.
that's when I think argument, I don't think just yelling and screaming. I'm thinking two contradicting, not contradicting, but two opposing ideas being hashed out. Like I think that way about arguments. So when I
But
hear
we wouldn't
someone's
consider
go ahead.
go. We wouldn't consider a man like that sassy. Okay, so
Okay.
that's not a good example. Like you having a conversation with us, and sometimes we may get high pitched because we're feeling a little triggered in the conversation or this and this.
Right.
But it usually stays in respect with you and Aaron, the majority of the women. But when then you decide to call one of us ugly or call us out the B word or tell us you're
Right,
gonna
right, right.
delete us, those are the sassy men, and y'all have seen that we disagree with
Yeah,
certain men,
okay.
and then they go straight into you're a B, and I'm gonna delete you, and this and this and this, like, and they just that's the
So,
men we're talking about, real
so
sassy.
So I want to get to Big Bad Bull Super Chats because I can't ignore the big homie. He says, please don't overtalk the host. That ain't gonna never stop. Y'all effing up good options to clip while he cooking. Don't worry, Big Bad Bull. That will never ever stop. Okay. Big Bad Bull says, we still doing bounties, right? I'm itching to clear the panel. Can y'all please leave that Fight Club energy over? Listen,
What
Miss,
is he
don't mess
talking
with me.
about? Nobody brought Fight Club energy.
No.
Nobody's
He,
cursing.
Right, because
Nobody's
we were
screaming.
peaceful. And if you clear the panel, then who y'all talking to?
no.
Oh,
Hold on,
What?
ladies.
don't
Listen.
hey, calm it down. Okay, it's
He
okay,
wasn't
y'all.
talking to the ladies. Big Bad Bull loved the ladies. What he was saying is, all you men think y'all gonna come up here and act a fool. He's setting the energy right there. That's all he's doing. Don't overread into it, right? He just setting the tone. Like, don't do that tonight. That's all he's doing, right? Now,
Oh yeah,
here's
we're
my
not tolerating no disrespect tonight. Not under the rule of a king, that is a woman. We are
King should
not.
not
We are not tolerating any disrespect from women to women at all tonight. You would get dropped on GP.
King
Period.
Sherelle. Calm yourself down. You is not king over here, okay? You King Fight Club, okay? Now, this is what I've noticed that
This is a takeover show is now a Sherelle and Aaron show. I'm about to actually start streaming it to my channel too. So now my rules go into effect over here too. Oh, it's such a good thing that we co-share the channel. They say I'm part
Wait,
of the
so Aaron,
team.
if
Look
if
at
I
that.
stream on my show too,
yeah,
does that mean it's
she out her mind right now, brother.
is
So
it a Sherelle cheeky Aaron take? Is
I'm
it
not
an
about to do this
AOC
with her
show?
right now.
Don't
So,
wait. When y'all do an AOC, you have to follow chicken rules. When I do a Sherelle show over here, I have my set of rules. So we're gonna also make this a Sherelle show. That way, the women can stay protected and we can stay in our femininity. Boom, boom,
no,
boom.
not
this is
be
an Aaron
triggering.
O show.
He
I will
said
protect the
no.
women myself. Okay, I don't need no King
You're
Sherelle to
only
take
telling me
over.
no because of cheeky, and that's the toxic behavior of men. That's what I'm talking about. Before cheeky, you never told me no.
Well, it
We're gonna have a
seems like
conversation
you're the
about
only
this.
woman that keep talking over me on the show. The rest of the women don't do that.
I'm
So, like
special.
I was saying,
I'm the king.
what I've noticed is this, right? Men, y'all trying to make a comparison to men from back then and men of now. So this is what I've noticed. One, the men of back then, I would hear women say this, girl, you gonna let him talk to you like that? And she gonna go, because he wasn't about to argue with her. The only reason women are saying men are acting like girls is because men have decided to stop using their hands. See, you wouldn't, when the officer come, you don't tend to say, oh, officer, that's not a man. That's he's sassy. Yeah. What y'all say? That's a man. He put his hands on. See, so men had to pull back from how they would normally dealing with women, thinking that they can talk to a man. I'm not saying what's right. I'm just discussing it. So you'll see someone using different forms of dialogue with women, and if you don't have that ability to go, I am a man no matter what you say about me, then you have to revert to other type of conversation. And this is what you're seeing. You said what, Venus?
Cut you off. Go ahead, finish.
No, but this is what you're seeing ultimately, right? Because they're not necessarily, and I'm saying to the ones that aren't doing that, the extra ones that yell and scream at their girl because they're not going to put their hands on her. That's the only other way that they found to communicate when they go to that level where when they want her to stop talking to them and things like that. Not saying what's right. I'm just saying you'll notice a difference because women wouldn't necessarily do that back then. They was like,
So
go ahead.
I don't agree with that. I think
Okay.
most of the women on this panel, we've dated more than one person. I think most of us. And this is applicable to today's man. We can compare people we know in real life right now. There are certain men that I know who just won't go there with women because they just don't move like that. And then there are certain men that I know who want to argue all day, yell and scream and call names and do all type of stuff. So that's not, at least for me, a reference to back in the day. There are men right now who I've gotten into it with, and they're not going to react the way I do. They just won't do it because they behave like men.
You know what? I'm not going to counter that right now because it's not. It's going to come at a better time to show you that point. Not right now, but you'll catch on to it later. So,
and it sounds like you're making excuses for people who don't know how to control themselves.
Control themselves.
Precisely, because I'm not saying it's wrong for a man to feel. Of course, he's going to feel anger, sadness, insecurity, rejection. He's going to feel everything everybody else feels, but usually we are different for a reason. We're made different. We are supposed to operate different when it comes to certain things. If you're mirroring me, that's an issue. There's a reason you're a man and I'm a woman. Like there's supposed to be a distinction in behavior.
And you know how men are supposed to act.
Yeah, I have 4 brothers, a father, a lot of male cousins. Yeah, I think I have a pretty good idea.
Okay, so fair enough. I'm going to play this video briefly just for fun because it's part of the show to have some fun. And then we're going to get into the mental load, right? Because I've got a lot of lovely people popping up on Instagram. You see this lovely here? She has a girl brain, right? And in her girl brain, she says stuff like, I don't know, this.
I want leadership, but don't just like boss me around, like lead me when I'm in the mood to be led. I want.
What do you think about that?
Petty Aaron.
My apologies. She's clearly wrong. Wouldn't you guys agree?
Can you play it again? I'm sorry, I didn't see it.
Oh, yes, I shall. Absolutely, I shall. I'm very happy to play it one more time because I like her hair. I love that hair.
I want leadership, but don't just like boss me around, like lead me when I'm in the mood to be led. I want.
Lead her when she's in the mood to be led. What do you think
She's
about
an
that?
idiot.
Really? You think that's an uncommon way for women to think?
What did you say?
Do you think that's uncommon and that's not how women typically think?
No, I think that is common. That's why it went viral. But I'm trying to figure out if you want a person to lead you, what do you mean don't boss me around? What does that look like, leading you when you want to? I guess I would have to be educated on that. I don't know what that means.
Boss me around just has a negative connotation to it. I ain't with it.
You know what I immediately thought about? A manager, right? So the manager at the job is technically the leader, but poor managers micromanage, right? But good managers set the parameters. These are the standards. This is what I need, and then kind of just have enough confidence in you to get it done. So if I could like make a differentiation in my mind, it would be lead me, but don't tell me what to do. It's kind of like, yeah, make your standards known, but don't micromanage me. It's kind of how I interpret that.
Yeah, like a helicopter. I don't need a helicopter spouse.
So if women determine when they're led, who's the actual leader?
Nobody.
That's a good point, actually.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. If okay, so listen to this.
No,
So
because a woman is a selector. She gets to choose what type of leader she wants. It doesn't make her a leader,
right,
but she does has the right. She have the right to selection. I don't.
yeah, that's
If I
So
go
true.
wait.
work at a job, my boss has the rules, but I wouldn't go work at a job where the boss is like, "Yeah, you gotta come up in here and massage my back and rub my feet." Okay, this not the job I want. You see what I'm saying?
Because
So if
if
I'm
she
if
come
I'm
home,
oh, go ahead. My bad.
I was just gonna say if she come home to she chose a leader and he's like, if this floor not swept, I'm gonna beat you over the head with a broom versus the leader that's like, I prefer a clean house. How about we operate like this? Do you see what I'm saying? It's a big difference in how she's being led.
So based on the context of the clip, none of that was ever stated by that woman in the clip. I'm only going based off of what that woman, that Aaron Shoda said.
I'm sorry, I'm
She
looking
said,
into it. My bad.
no. You guys are good. I'm just saying, if she says, "Lead me when I want to be led," who's the actual leader?
Okay, yeah, she's off on that. Nah, nah. If you're the
He's
leader,
still
you're
the
always the
leader.
leader.
She's just not a good follower.
She's not off on that. This is
She's not.
she's not off on that. That's exactly how the large majority of women actually express themselves and
But
what they.
why? Oh, I can't hear good. I'm sorry.
No, you fine, Lucky. That's exactly what men are saying that they're experiencing. Ultimately, this is what they're experiencing. And when you have women that express themselves, unfortunately, social media is a gift and a curse for both the male and the female. And when men are like, man, I know this woman is always challenging, always this, and that. Why, when I'm doing this, as long as she ain't mad at me, then she like everything good. But if she mad at me, now it's not this no more.
She doesn't want to be led by you.
Correct. She does not want to be led when she's mad at me. But when everything good, ain't no problems. I come in the house, ain't no issues, everything good. Oh, hi, it's good to see you. Oh, dang, things gonna get done. Ain't no problems. Piss her off. I ain't gotta listen to you. That's when the stuff goes off. And basically what she's saying is lead me when I feel like it's time to lead me, and when do it the way I kind of want you to do it. Ultimately, this is what men express that they experience. Just like y'all getting the new type of sassy type of man y'all claim. Ultimately, this is that leadership ability that y'all say that y'all like to have. It's when it's convenient for me.
I guess I would just what I'm comprehending is there's just certain things I believe that a man or a woman, and I'll just stay on topic. I don't think there's certain things that a man shouldn't even have to say. So if we get to the point in conversation where he has to tell you to clean, you a nasty bitch, and you don't deserve leadership. That's just my opinion.
That's true,
It
and I
was
stand.
an example, Lucky. God damn.
Nah,
No
listen,
cursing. No
there ain't.
cursing, Lucky.
I'm from
Listen,
South Central. I'm sorry, y'all.
let Lucky be lucky. So listen, she's right. Women that clean gon' clean. It's just innate. I got to clean. I feel icky. Like I've been around women that just always gotta clean. Like the thought of something being not clean in their presence and they don't like it. Now, and that's aside from being sick and extenuating circumstances, but clean women are clean women all the time. It
Well,
ain't no
that's what I'm speaking in
circumstance.
general. Like, if wouldn't that, okay, as men, y'all up here, you'd understand. First of all, leadership qualities. I shouldn't have to step into the point of being controlling, right? But if I have to tell you stuff you should already know, doesn't that bring out the bossy mentality she's talking about? She don't like.
It's a very good point. And I just played that one for fun. That's not something to get caught up on. I want to get into the mental load because I know that's what the ladies really want to talk about. I just want to acknowledge the super chats. Kazi is here. Kazi says, I am all for paternity leave. Whoo, that is an argument to be had. Okay, DJ Neff says, those are the dudes y'all have supported, though. The I feel ninjas, y'all say they are emotionally intelligent. Of course they are. They intelligente. Okay. Big Giz composition says, Cheeky, what character you playing on Smash Bros? That would I play Captain Falcon. but I haven't played Super Smash Bros. In a long time, so I don't know what role Cheeky plays. Lee is in the building, says the black woman is God. I just put the black woman in there because that is the theme here. So why not acknowledge it? Okay, DJ Neff says good leaders don't manage, they inspire.
Agreed.
I think that's a different type of leader, and I think you're just there's multiple ways for you to be a leader, and I think you can do both managing and inspiring. Granville says every woman on the panel has that girl brain. That's why they can't understand it. Well, actually, that's not true.
Granville has a girl brain too, so that's why he understands her.
You heard the woman's response, and I thought Lucky's response was interesting, and she didn't respond how a lot of the women tend to. So either she's smart enough to know that, hey, as a woman, I'm going to be received this way, so I'm going to respond this way, or not. Either way, I thought her answer was different.
I think my understanding is always different because I did date women.
Yep, 100%. And I wasn't gonna get into that.
I want to say it, but I wanted to say, Lucky, you dated women, so
exactly why she's the perfect example.
I understand they pain.
The nigga mentality for a long time, and I
don't do ninja. How you know she wasn't dating no Snow Bunny? Don't do ninja.
I'm just logical and objective.
Like
I like
they say
to
men
think.
are, right?
Here we go.
Yes, that's why they're so attractive and they're the prize.
Lucky, don't get in trouble right now because they're gonna pile on you. Okay, Granville says I stand corrected. Every woman but Lucky on the panel has that girl brain. You know what? I like Lucky, so I ain't gonna argue against that.
I like Lucky too, but I know Lucky
because Lucky knows. She knows, and it's a very strong position in which she answers things, and she's really smart. I watch how people operate, and actually, most of the women around these spaces are relatively smart, especially the ones that are brave enough to come on panels. I said most, not all, because I know there are a few that you guys cannot stand. Now, I'm not going to hover on that particular leadership thing because it's not a leadership conversation. That was just a jab to throw in there for fun, but I really want to get down to the nit and gritty of the conversations. Because these are
not jabbing us for fun, child.
Yeah. I got to take a few jabs in there because I ain't streamed in a minute, so I had to do so. But I really want to get into these particular type of conversations, right? Because this is where ultimately I want to lead into when we talk about emotions and things like that. So let me. I like us being at the top. I like that angle much better. Listen to this. Dialogue. Well, I shouldn't even say dialogue. This woman expressed a perspective.
This is the mental load we carry for the people we love. Sorry, Kate, to do that. Can I show the slight difference between mums and dads, like when you go to bed at night?
Yeah.
Because the singular focus of most males means I'm going to go to bed to go to sleep, and you go to bed and you go to sleep.
Yeah.
So the mum comes to bed to go to sleep. But we're biologically wired to make sure that we're caring really well because of estrogen. So we'll go through every decision we made during the day from, breakfast right through. Not only that, well, my God, they didn't eat enough broccoli. Geez, did I have enough of that in the lunchbox?
That's a female thing, isn't it?
It's a female thing. And then we second guess and we beat ourselves up. And then we're wondering if they'll get into university. And then we've gone back and regret something we did at our 21st. And then we've come forward to the kids again, comparing to somebody else.
Oh my
then
God.
we've gone, oh my God, my eyebrows, I'll need to put that in. There's a load of washing in. Have I got it, Kate? Right. And about 1 o'clock in the morning.
Kate's getting emotional.
Yeah.
This
is the mum brain.
Stressful.
This is the mental load we carry for the people we love. Sorry, Kate, to do that. I absolutely hear that.
Yeah.
So what I want sometimes is for our dads to recognize that we're just it's just we're wired different.
Okay,
But we
gotcha.
want the dads to be able to jump in sometimes and go, I've got this, love. In different
Did that
houses.
strike a chord though, Kate? Did it?
Just the
the mind games.
the inner dialogue that doesn't
Go
ever
away.
stop.
that doesn't ever end.
Now, I'll let the ladies respond and their thoughts on it. I want to say first, I watch a lot of stuff like that because I personally am very intrigued by women, how they think, how they operate, and learning things about women that can benefit me and how I interact with them, and how if I'm building out my family members and things like that, how I can kind of help our experiences get better together because I have an understanding of certain things. That is part of the reason why I look for insight like that. Now, I kind of already know a lot of this stuff, but to keep it reinforced, it keeps it on the front of my mind instead of going to the back of my mind, because I have one of those things they call a male brain. Okay, ladies, your thoughts.
I'll go ahead and go first. Just out of my personal experience or whatever, I'd say that that is absolutely the case with me. My husband often calls me a worry wuss, you know. And sometimes we would clash as far as, me thinking that he's not worried about certain things. And, he has to remind me, like, hey, I know about these things too. We just express them in different ways. You know what I'm saying? It's not that I'm not worrying about it or whatever like that. I'm more so like, a duck on the pond or whatever. I'm calm up here on the outside or whatever like that, but my feet are churning just like yours are. Except, I'm not flapping my wings while I'm doing it, but you are. You know what I'm saying? My shit, my stuff appears more so outwardly, and his is more so inward. So that's where we would, come to a head with that. But I definitely wholeheartedly feel where she coming from with that.
I was gonna say I agree with the mental load. I think sometimes we as women we always have an excessive amount of things on our minds. I think it has to do with like the nurture in us and kind of our natural makeup. I honestly have trouble sleeping because I'm always like, okay, did I do this? I did that. I have multiple things going, multiple things I'm, doing in life. So I definitely think that that can be overwhelming. And like Callie said, it can make you clash with the opposite sex, like your husband, your boyfriend, because you expect them to understand. And a lot of times it's not that they may not understand. They just handle things differently. And I definitely can see where she's coming from with that exchange. But I gotta drop Aaron.
Oh, okay, no problem. Thank you for coming up, Lucky. I
Bye,
appreciate it.
mother.
Bye, baby.
That's mother leaving, not Lucky.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
mother.
that's
I'm
me.
sorry. The screen was going back and forth. Yeah, I saw it in the back chat. Thank you, mother. Enjoy your night. I see you having your hands full tonight.
Yeah, my baby running on the ceiling, y'all. So it's cool. You can take. I gotta go take care
Oh,
of my. Yeah, that's why I'm on mute because I'm like he want to play. I'm like, okay, let me go. Let me go put him to bed. So yeah. All right, I'll be listening.
thank
Good
you.
night, y'all.
Good night.
See, when y'all,
Good night.
when you have all these
Good night.
ladies in their feminine, their voices start to sound the same. Oh yeah, no. So
Oh my God.
what
Okay.
is true?
Well, this is B Rose. Can I go?
Yes, B rolls.
Not
All
an
right.
announcement.
Um, so obviously I'm not a mom, so I can't come from that perspective, but the constant analyzing of your thoughts, your feelings, what you did and didn't do that day. Um, I think it comes a lot from a fear of making a mistake. And not because we just want to be perfect, but because we don't want to deal with the repercussions and having to deal with the consequences of fixing it. Like we are less likely to commit risks in most cases. So I don't want to do something that I have to deal with long term. I'd rather have done it right the first time, or it not be something that I have to continue to put myself in a situation to make better. And then especially if it affects another person, or they're gonna judge me or not like me, and it's like just a pile on. Like I don't want to deal with more emotional burden than I have to. Um, so that's what I took from what she said, because I can't apply it to being a parent.
Okay. People said who said they want to hear what Beans got to say. Well, I don't know if he been listening because he be doing like a million things on that side of the camera. So I can't say whether he's paying attention or
One
not.
of the women didn't go.
I'm not skipping them. Anybody can go. There's a long silence for that opening to
No,
I'm
I
just
do.
saying.
I don't even like conversations people don't jump in. I'm gonna be honest. I need a little bit of toxic. So the men could go. I'm listening to my thoughts.
To be fair, Aaron.
Yes, sir.
I did not hear the video. Your boy JT, got some evidence that me and you gonna have to watch together about that whole DJ Envy thing. But Um,
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, we could do that.
yeah.
I think I saw somewhere. I'm like, yeah, he in trouble. I forgot what it was. I already
Yeah,
know he in trouble.
can you give me a yeah, it's about to open up. This some evidence that JT is him and his man said they some motherfucking tattletales.
Yeah,
But can
you
you
want to watch the video again, sir? It sounds like you
no, I
leave.
don't want to watch it again. I
Okay.
want you to give me a 10-second summation of what was said in it.
And I'm gonna tell you.
So podcast. You want to change the subject?
What?
That's not what he's saying, Sherelle.
So what was said in the video is that the woman was explaining mom brain. She was explaining mom brain, that when men go to bed, they go to bed and they just go to bed to go to sleep. That the woman will stay up all night thinking, oh my God, did I give them enough broccoli at lunch? Did I pack their lunch right? Like, do I have enough money to send them to college? And they're circulating thinking about everything they did and every mistake they made, and they're tossing and turning and they have all this anxiety. That's essentially what the video was.
Mm-hmm.
Right. One of those very last words that you just said explains what that is. It's called anxiety, and it's not gender specific. Anybody can have it. Trust me, I know. It's not gender specific.
I do want to point out, is she complaining about her instincts as a mother? Of course, men won't have a maternal instinct or type of thoughts because they're men. So is that overall her perspective? Are we supposed to expect men to be like women and then also say they're being sassy? Is that what
No,
I'm understanding?
because their instincts would be called paternal instincts, if in fact they existed. That would be the only difference.
Well, that was an interesting video. It gives a little bit of insight. I like it because I think that, well, I don't want to get too far in depth because I want to tie everything together because my brain obviously is weird, as you guys have learned. But there was this another video that kind of ties.
Aaron, before you move on, let me say this because I think this needs to be said, right?
If you're gonna do it,
I think what needs to be understood, especially for people who don't have kids, right? I know y'all think moms is all that it is, and they're the only parents that actually matter, right? But here's the truth: moms care about children. Dads care about their adult children. Dads are mostly concerned with their sons and their daughters, for that matter, and how they're going to turn out. What kind of adults are they going to be? Because we understand that you are an adult way longer than you are a child. So moms are so concerned about their role as a mother as it pertains to their babies, right? To their babies, to their infants, to their prepubescent children, their adolescent children, because there's a sort of control there for them. But as men, we care about after 18 years old, because we know that's when real life starts. We know that's when it kicks in. I'm facing that right now with my son, who just turned 18 back in April, graduated high school in May, and called me the other day stressing out like, Dad, is this really what life is? Right? Like, I gotta get a better job and then get a better job and then a better job. I'm like, yeah, son, I tried to tell you when you was younger, don't be in a rush to get older. Now time went as it did, and you're here now. So all you can do is buckle down and take on the challenge. But this is the time that I was worried about as a father. What was life going to be like for you as an adult? Because my adult life outside of the sex and the weed and the alcohol and the partying sucked. And so I think that's really the difference between moms and dads, because we are focused on the real life that kicks in when you turn 18 and we know the expectations change. Moms, you hear black moms say a lot of times, I got you to 18, I did my job. That's the evidence that that's what they care about, you as a child.
I would say
Shout out to the panel,
Go
to everybody
ahead,
tonight. Good
Emma.
conversation going on
Welcome,
here.
MRM. You are the
Appreciate it, King.
special.
Appreciate it, Woman King.
You are the only man I would let outweigh the women. It's special for you because I know that you're always respectful. Thank you for being here.
Uh, yeah, I agree to a lot what Beans is saying. Definitely. At the same time, to that video that you just played, the great thing about that is that those things that that woman all talked about, that is something that definitely happened. My wife actually had that same exact type of thing happen. But the great thing about it, if you are a husband, or like it could be a long-term relationship per se, when she comes, what that lady just did right there, my wife comes, she expressed that to me. When I end up hitting her back with a logical standpoint, I'm able to see it from perspective that she can't, because she's so caught up in all of that. It puts her at ease. Me hitting her with a different point. Well, babe, did you think about this, or did you? What about this? Oh my God, why I couldn't even think about that time. I just couldn't even. I wouldn't even. I was just so. And that's what I'm saying. So in other words, you can be like a great balance for her when she comes like that. Because there was a time, one time, me and my wife joke about it all the time. Well, I don't know what was going on. I know I had a crazy day in college at school, and I also had practice for track, from scholarship and everything. I come home getting ready to tell her, man, we had this cadaver to do, and da 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 da. As soon as I stepped into my wife, like, take this baby from me because I'm about to squeeze and make his head pop off. And she gave him to me, and I was like, woo. So whatever that was, when she came back, we talked about it. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is that's why I think that when it comes to it, no hate on anybody that have a different type of lifestyle, but that balance right there of having that neutral family like type dynamic can be very beneficial.
And I would say I think it's very like mentally burdened, especially when kids are like very little, they need a lot of attention. They move so quick, and then it's so like yeah, like it can become stressful a lot because it does you don't get to just stop. You're not just concerned with the woman. You're probably working. You have to get up. You have to cook. You have to clean. You have to make sure that they're okay. And it's just like that every day with no breaks. It anything for too long with no breaks can become mentally draining, mentally stressful. Especially
Yeah, I think
because a lot of times I think women are very deep into overthinking.
right. And to that, Sherelle, there's a lot of people that, like, even the people that we counsel, they would tell us that same thing. But one of the things, and it is not a woman's fault, they don't know, especially if you're new to this and relationship and marriage, is that a lot of women, what you just got in explaining, that all goes through their head, and a lot of times that's never communicated to the partner or to the husband. So he don't know. He come in doing his typical thing, and in her head, you just come in the house and just take a shower and go down, sit down, flip the TV on. I've been here doing. A lot of times that's going through their head, but they never express that to the husband, because most of the time we'd have been like, oh, well, what's up? Just tell me, I got what you need me to do, so you can, but a lot of times it's crazy. A lot of women don't even express that.
No, yeah, I was at temporary custody of my god kids, and I got two of them in the tub. I'm trying to dress one in the room. When I go into the tub, one has pooped in the tub, so I take them out the tub, and I'm cleaning the poop out the tub and making sure the person who pooped in the tub is clean. By the time I do that and I make it back to the room, the other one has pooped on the floor. It is stressful, and now this one has to retake a bath. Like, trust me, that is like, if anybody dealing with that on a consistent basis, because I was like, that was a couple of months for me. That was like 4 or 5 months for me. But that's overload. That's overload because everybody wants attention. Everybody wants to eat. Everybody has a different attitude and everything. So like, it definitely can just wear you down, wear you out. Like,
Well, Callie, did you want to say something? I noticed you mute because you're in feminine and everything, and MRM came up and tried to dominate over you. So I wanted to make sure I allow you to speak it, so I don't skip over you.
No, I was saying that I disagree with with being saying that women are only focused on the primary years and men are mainly focused on the adult years. Those primary years, you do want to make sure you get everything right because that lays the foundation for their adult years. So, in essence, we are worried about what I'm saying, them being as an adult. And then on top of that, too, we also worry about them. We still think of them as our child, you know what I'm saying? Because we did give birth to them, even when they are an adult. We still worry about them from a mother to a child point of view. So
yeah.
yeah.
And scientifically, anybody knows if you do the research, the most important years of brain development for a child is from the ages of birth to the ages of 6. Those are actually the most important ones. So a man stepping in around like teenage years and feeling like, okay, now it's time to be boot camp. No, really, this personality and who this child was, like the sponge years was actually when he was born between the ages of birth and the ages of 6, which is why sometimes it's then hard to instill certain things into like teenage kids. You spoil the kids
Well, Sherelle,
when
I
they're
don't.
babies. It's hard to unspoil them.
Well, I don't. She can't even say spoil. So I don't want to get caught up on.
What?
Yeah, you can't say the word. So I don't want to get caught up on the science of it, because we know science go back and correct things and say, oh, we found new information, things like that. That's just the current science we have of the brain development and things like that. I've heard that before, and we'll just have to accept that for most of the truth, because most of us are not scientists, right? So I don't want to really get caught up on that. I think what Beans was saying, that it's not that they don't necessarily care about that. It's just that men are long-term projectors is what he's indicating. And so it's hard to explain how men see the world as comparison to how women see the world. That's why I was listening to what the woman said, and I go, I can see that. I've kind of watched those behaviors. Often what I hear is when men say things, they go, I don't like what men are saying, and the right way to men to think. And so it's interesting how that works there. So I don't want to get caught up on that. I want to go to the next video, because I want to tie everything together. I don't want to be here for 7, 8, 9, 10 hours, because that's not my thing. You know me, I'm not a long streamer, especially on my show. But I want you to listen to this video.
A lot of women deal with postpartum because they have poor partners. And I'm not talking about financially poor. I'm talking about poor character. I did not deal with postpartum because of my husband. I did not lift a finger. After I popped those babies out, I literally rested for 6 weeks. My husband would wake me up to breastfeed the babies, and then I would go back to sleep while he burped them, changed them, and got them settled and back to sleep. People were shocked at how quickly I snapped back, and it was because I got to rest. Also, it doesn't just stop like after 6 weeks. Still to this day, my husband is the one to wake up with the kids in the middle of the night. If we're going somewhere, he feeds the kids, dresses the kids, get them in the car. Well, I just focus on myself, and we split household chores. All, if not most, of the mental load can be alleviated if you have a good partner. So choose wisely, guys. A lot of
Yeah, I gotta go first on that, bro. Shit, I gotta turn my camera on for that. So
Hi, Trigger.
hey, good evening, everybody. Good evening. So I think we talked about this on my show earlier. And I mean, she's not wrong. And basically the science says that the biggest indicator that a woman will be a great mother, not just a good one, a great mother, is the support that she has from her companion, most notably her husband. Right? So nobody's discrediting that. But what that lady kind of did, and I want ladies to pause and notice, she's flexing a little bit. Because what she did was dismiss the postpartum experience of every other woman on earth, as if those women who have postpartum don't have supportive partners. And that's not true. A woman, body dysmorphia is a large part of postpartum. The husband can be as supportive as he wants, but as Logic used to say, he can't get rid of that oatmeal pie that just happened to her stomach, right? Or MRM is a doctor. Am I wrong? Isn't body dysmorphia and looking at their body changed a huge part of their depression that may go down? So that lady is
It's not body dysmorphia, but I get what you're saying. Body dysmorphia is typically when you see yourself to look way different than what other people see you. Kind of like anorexic people, they see themselves to be bigger than what they actually are.
No, he's saying that's part of it, not the whole of it.
Not the whole of it, but
that's what I'm saying. If you have an oatmeal pie stomach, you're in fact looking at one. Nobody sees anything different than you.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So what is the proper term? I wouldn't even know. They're just unhappy with their body.
It's security.
You was correct.
It's a valid insecurity.
Okay, got you. So they're insecure about that. And I didn't like the fact that she was flexing on women. That's very insincere. And what also happened is that's kind of void and absent of reality, because I don't know a more supportive, more attentive and intentional father than I. I did all of those things. But what I'm really saying is that some women tend to lack balance in their own life, which depresses them. So it when I say some women are struggling, that's what I'm really saying, where no matter what their husband does, they're trying to they're having a hard time accepting their new role in life, and they're going to need support in that area and help. Maybe not even just from their husband, from their community members, from their mother and father. They need the women in the community to, wrap arms around them and let them know it's going. Like, there's a lot of reasons women fall into that, and it's not just by not having a supportive partner. And then what if a man works? What if he got to be at work, and he's at work overnight, and he can't help you in the middle of the night and feed the baby? Is he now an unsupportive father? So there's a lot to unpack there for real.
Yeah, and before anybody else go, I just want to say that is correct. I think what she's highlighting is he's attentive, and I think sometimes when you put it more on a man, like you're saying, working, and I knew a Vietnamese woman who used to do my nails. I'm not being racist, right? But she expressed how after she had her baby, the family comes to their house and helps her. It's not usually put on the men; it's put on the mothers in the family. And just to kind of Bean's previous point about how women do keep children childish, I'm also of the belief that's why at a certain age, when kids, especially daughters, start to challenge their mothers, it's because they're operating in a different standpoint where I think they should go be with the fathers primarily, in my opinion. So I think there's definitely a balance that should be put there. But when we start to expect men to operate like women in the beginning, it's kind of like setting them up for failure, because what they can do is be attentive. But like you said, you can be as attentive as you want. Postpartum comes from way of your hormones and everything you just went through. Like, so it's a chemical imbalance. So it's really nothing you can have the most biggest support system that still won't change certain things that come into play with that mental condition. So yeah, I think it makes it worse when she's not getting support, because postpartum can turn dangerous for the kid to the point, kind of like what Sherelle was describing. It's a non-stop job, and it also gets offensive when men act like it's not that type of job when they don't do it day in, day out 100% the same way women do. And it becomes a battle, on top of the fact that I have to heal my body. I'm going through things emotionally. I don't know why I'm crying. The only break I can get is on the toilet, and the kid is banging on the door. You know what I'm saying? So it's a whole lot of stuff that goes into it mentally. So if you don't have that help, she may harm your child. That's the realization of it. So yeah, I just want to point that out.
Can I just add one more thing to what Lucky just said? Do you know my wife often tells me what goes on in these moms groups? The biggest group of people that would drag that lady for posting that video are involved mothers. Moms will tear her apart in moms groups. They always do when women do that, because one of the parts that we might have glanced over is, do you know how much time you need to spend bonding with that child? And she's basically gloating that somebody else does everything. You see what I'm saying? Because she didn't say she had postpartum. She said this is what's stopping me from having.
No. She said a lot of things, and that's her world that she likes to live in, right? This is what ultimately that all this stuff culminates to, right? Just listening from perspective, the sassy man, and all these things, right? So I was talking to a coworker today, right? And I randomly run some of my thoughts to my coworkers for fun, just to get different perspectives, right? And I said, and I was talking about Sassy, like, what you doing your show? And I said, something about Sassy man. And she was like, oh. And I said, is there something that maybe your ex-boyfriend used to do that you didn't like? Yeah, he cried. And I said, oh, really? He cried. Okay. What he cry about? This is all facts. This happened today, by the way. Well, this is what happened. I think he got pulled over while he was drinking. He was going to get a DUI, and he started crying because they were going to take him to jail, right? I said, dang. And you think that's not something he should cry about? I said, let me ask you this. Do you think that if he gets a DUI, he might lose his job? Yeah. Do you think that most women want a guy with a job? Yeah. So imagine this guy about to lose his job, his livelihood, right? Possibly lose his girl because you rocking with him because you probably want a man with a job, not a man that don't have a job, right? And probably get a record, whatever. You don't think that's reasonable reason to cry? This is her answer. No. This is her answer.
Sorry.
No, you're fine, bro. Well, I think because it was his fault, no one made him do that he shouldn't have cried. Stop facts. So the point of that story is this, and listening to everything that's been said patiently, like I tend to do, men expressing themselves is not wanted. They don't want you to express themselves. And if you are, express yourself the way I want you to express yourself, right? Because I've heard we not dealing with the type of man. We don't want the man in the past. Well, we do, but we want you to be a hybrid version of the men that we want. We want stern granddaddy, grandma did all the things. Granddaddy ain't really do that. He just a disciplinary. But we want y'all to be more connected. We want y'all to be more emotionally intelligent, right? People don't understand when you start to dab at men in an effective way that how they express themselves, constricted in all these ways, it affects them. I would say all the way, not just limited. So you know how you only want part of that man to change a little bit to the part that benefits you? You've changed all of men. We've been so limited on how we get to express ourselves because when we start expressing ourselves, we're getting called sassy. Interesting to me. Sassy? No. That is a newer way that men have come around to start to express what they think using their words. I just don't think a man should say it out loud. If they want to, they should, because they're expressing what they're thinking now. Stop holding your thoughts inside. Speak more. Everything about men expressing themselves have become restricted and only desired to hear what they want to hear. But all I hear for women is we express ourselves however we want, whenever we want. And men have never said, y'all need to stop expressing yourself. Men have never told me a story. Man, my girl, she cried too much for me. Now, they expect women to cry. So it's like, yeah, we probably don't like it, but we expect women to cry. So we don't have an expectation for men to cry. We don't want them to express themselves this type of way, but we want them to be emotionally intelligent. We want them to express themselves the way we want. Men are the most restricted when it comes to expression.
So
You don't think y'all call it nagging? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ben.
No. Go ahead, Lucky.
No, I was up with him until he said men don't do that because y'all definitely call it nagging or stuff like that when she expresses herself, quote unquote. So
I would.
Can we do this? Wait. Can we do this? Can we
Nagging is
concede to that? Just can we concede to that point? I know what you're gonna say, Aaron, because I'm thinking the same thing probably. But if it's the way that you communicate, I'll just concede to it. Yes, we do call it nagging, and yes, we do say we don't want it. All right. Okay.
We expect it to come with women, though, correct?
I think that we do.
Right. But they don't expect things to come with us.
But that's what I'm saying. The problem is because we expect it, right? The thing that was going to fall short is that that's a part of our communication, right? It's a part of us expressing about what we're dealing with. We have to deal with your nagging, right? I'm not one of those guys. My girl doesn't nag. My girl moves like a man, right? She's just a satanic psychopath, right? So, but I understand where men are coming from when they say that, right? And sometimes I look at them enviously, like I wish my girl was a nagger.
No, but Pac, my thing is this, right? I'm not saying men don't complain. I'm saying men have an acceptance to knowing you got to deal with her because she a woman. She supposed to nag.
True.
This ain't what I'm hearing from women. You got to deal with him. He a man. He posted. They not.
It's
doing
not
that.
the end of the relationship, right?
So they're saying we don't want it.
Right. Exactly.
We don't want nagging, but we have to accept it comes with a woman being a woman. The acceptance of what a man coming being a man, the answer is no. We'd be by ourselves then.
But then isn't that saying that we have the expectation for men to be sassy because that comes with men being sassy? Like that's what we're supposed to expect from men now?
No, it's not that. This is what this is what it is in a nutshell, B Rose, to kind of like put a cap on that one. What happens is this. Whenever a man is responding to his environment with a woman, whatever it is that he's doing, the woman is going to say he should be doing something else. The problem is that no matter what he does, it's not going to be the right thing as long as he's addressing her behavior. It's not going to matter. As long as he's addressing her behavior, as long as he's holding her accountable, as long as he's saying she's not perfect, it don't matter if he's bitch please or baby can you please. It don't matter if he hit you in your eye or if he it's not gonna make a difference. Whichever way he come, it's going to be a problem because what he's saying in the moment is that you're not perfect. That has been our experience as men. Now, MR, Trigger Mike, Anton, Angry Man, a lot of these other guys who have purchased their women's civility don't have to deal with that, right? That's not a diss on them. If I had the bag, I would purchase it too, but I don't. And if I ever get it, I won't, right? But the fact of the matter is that we don't get to vent. We don't get to say what we don't like. If you look at the spaces that have been created for men to say, after 60 years, let us say this, ladies, we understand all these things that you all say, but we came from this and this and this and this, and we've dealt with this and this and this and this. The ladies didn't say, you know what? The men are right. We haven't considered them. And we haven't thought about how they feel about things and such and such. Let us get together and compromise and be cooperative and make sure no. Oh, nigga, you got something to say? Well, we got more to say. We gonna delete all the male babies, nigga, because we don't want y'all talking about us.
So, podcast, you're not gonna speed past that shit like you did not just say I purchased my wife's civility, nigga.
I love podcast.
Like what?
Nigga Mike, I apologize. I apologize for how that may have sounded. What I'm saying is this. If you all don't have money, you don't have the civility in your house.
So that's where you're wrong. That's why I said I have. So think about it though. Think about it though. Men, and what I'll say is that when you say that, it's very indicative of the fact that we may have a culture of incivility and a culture of unruly women in America, to where you think that a man has to purchase it to gain it. I have my wife's civility because I do not tolerate incivility. If I ever was shown that in my house, I would get another wife. It's that simple.
So it's I don't want you guys to get
that from you.
It ain't that simple. Stop it.
No, wait. It could be either or. Some men purchase it. Some guys have a no tolerance thing. Like I'm a no tolerance person, but I ain't got you. I trigger
Aaron, please hold him to that. So he said he can just get another wife, but most of these conversations is saying women are not wife material.
No.
You cannot.
No. I'm not saying that. Lucky. Wait. Hold on. He's Nigerian, so the Nigerians do a little bit different. They probably, but the point that I'm saying that Trigger Mike is right about, it could be either or, in a sense. There's just some guys that are no tolerance type of guys, right?
Yes.
Money or not. And then there are guys like you mentioned. I'm not saying the guys that you did mention, I'm saying, but there are guys that can purchase some of the agreement and all that type of stuff. So yes, I think there's two of those, but it probably could be more of the one that you probably said. And Trigger Mike just don't like to admit that
part.
Some of the level of which the productiveness of his life seeps off into her mentality of being more accepting of
that's
it.
A fact.
That's just part of his ego, because I do think he's a man of certain things. He's not going to tolerate certain things, whether he had the money or not. But he has to understand it seeps into that mentality when you're dealing with a woman, and they know that exists. Yes. So
he seems to be a pretty dope.
And I'll also say it's not just about me, right? It's about like my family, right? So one of the big things that I did was take my wife around my family to their wives. So you need to understand that when a woman sees how, like, damn, none of these dudes tolerate this, all of their wives are hands on their knees, back straight type of, she made the decision whether she wanted to be a part of this or not. Yes. And I was very candid, like, look, you've made it through the fam. My mom even liked you, but my dad, if he don't like you, this is over, right? You see, so she made the choice herself to say, this is the way women behave in this culture. If I want to be with him and I want him to keep me, I better act accordingly. Luckily for me, I chose a woman that I thought could do that easily because it was her. She did it naturally.
I get what you said, and I agree with that. You got to pick one that understands. Lauren Max says, "Man, do y'all ever get tired of being logical? Sounds like a lot of work." Yes, I have to be logical about this whole Fight Club situation.
They
right?
ain't logical now. They ain't working.
One sec, Venus. I'm gonna go right to you right after this. The logical part of me says, "Be quiet, men work." Period. Like that's just what men do. That's the logical side of me, right? But the challenging my own logic, go, well, this, that, and who cares? You're a man. The world don't care about that. Get it done. So yes, we get tired of the logic, but there is nowhere where we can drop logic off on somebody else. So I say that to say this, and I want to go to Venus. Women have evolved So when we talk about women in the workforce and women can be CEOs and women can do this and men are forcing us to be in our masculine roles because they can't provide for us and all this type of thing, right? We don't like to talk about the world needing balance. It's an uncomfortable conversation, but I hate to say to women that if you're a feminine woman, you should be able to pull out the masculine in a man, right? But only the inverse is an acceptable statement. Oh, if you're a masculine man, you'll bring out my femininity. It's not the inverse is not acceptable, right? But it is expressed often that way. And I'm saying this, and I'll finish quickly because I know you want to get it out. So ultimately, the workforce have been taken over by women. So what podcast was saying, and like I was explaining, JJ, balance is a myth. Well, not in the world, maybe individual work-life balance, but the world has it. So podcast is saying what I said. Men don't have places to really express themselves. No matter where men go, women have invaded it. And I'm not saying that men don't like being around women. I'm saying in the workforce, when women were forced not to work, me and podcast go to work with our suitcase. Podcast, what's going on, man? You know, this, that, killing me. I got to pay for this and all that. We telling podcasts at the work, right? Now we got women in the workplace. Can't talk like that no more. Now HR says, hey, guys, don't discuss this, don't do that. So y'all have invaded everywhere that men dominated. And y'all have brought y'all views in politics into that atmosphere, right or wrong. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I'm saying that's what happened, right? Now, when you guys evolved and changed,
this show.
There's no evolution for how the men.
You were invited here, were you?
I'm not talking about this show.
Shady
I'm talking
to podcast. He said, including the show. But we were invited, actually.
Like I said, I like being around women, but I'm not singling it out just to me. I'm saying this really transpired, and we watched it play out where the men used to leave the home, like y'all said, dad, they work all day and they weren't really around women a lot like that. So when we saw women in the dress, we go, woo, woo. Now we see women everywhere because y'all in the workplace. It's not the same atmosphere that y'all saw evolve over time. But what hasn't happened is this. The way that men get to express themselves has not evolved. Y'all have no acceptings of men expressing themselves differently. Y'all want to hold us to that position, but want us to evolve and say, hey, we want you guys to be able to be more emotionally intelligent. We want you guys to connect more. So I'm going to say something that's very, very unpopular, but the truth. Female nurture and male nurture are different. The only one that is accepted is female nurture. They don't tend to like the nurturing that males do. They don't like men nurturing because when they express the nurturing part, they are usually saying y'all are not doing what women are doing. Well, that's y'all way y'all nurture. Y'all telling me men are not nurturing the way that men nurture? It's impossible. They only know they only operate how men do. But y'all have asked for an evolution and adjustment. Even listening to that woman say, I just want the men to know and just, be attentive, see these things. Listen, someone just asked about logic. There is nothing I can do to share that mental load of logic with a woman. I don't get a break from it ever. And I have to accept that just because I'm a man. And that's the part where we're trying to tell you, like, y'all can't help us with a lot of the mental issues that we may have. Y'all cannot help us. And y'all have no desire to help us most of the time because
selfish,
be a man. Just be a man. We're not making this up. The nicest guy in the world could express the same thing I'm saying to y'all, and y'all will still reject it. So it becomes very complicated to have these.
Because we in general do not care. And I wish y'all would just consider that women, people, I ain't even going to keep it on people. I'm going to say on the topic because I understand how important it is sometimes when I do that. Just in general, we have a selfish way of thinking. Even when you tell your daughter, if he don't like you and it's like this, get rid of him. You never have the conversation that tries to teach the person or the young lady what loves look like from that male's perspective. You don't really have that. The same thing on the other way around. All we know is you feel it's okay to feel this way. Oh, it's no big deal. That's usually what we get, myself included. You have a very selfish way. Even me currently, I have to remind myself not to be selfish thinking because I love or express this way that I should get it the same way. I'm not with a woman. I'm with a man. So I have to understand and learn this is a day by day thing. He has to understand me to know how to guide me in different ways. And most of the time when you have a woman who doesn't feel like it's okay to be vulnerable, or like you said in the video earlier, she wants to pick and choose when she wants him to do that, it's usually because I don't really want nobody telling me what to do. And a lot of the times that plays into the fact that they know if you don't do it, it's going to be another simp or whatever terminology y'all use in these spaces to describe men that are going to run up behind her, especially if she look good. That's just the fact. Like, you ain't going to change it. That's the way it is. The only way you change it is you cannot sexually, especially, entertain those type of women, because one thing they throw in your face is, I can get another dude. They're not talking about a husband. They're just saying somebody who can tolerate this. And then when he get done tolerating it, there's someone else to fill that space too. So that's generally what happens. There's no understanding to take the time out to explain to women exactly what it looks like when men are being nurturing. It's foreign to us. So we're going to reject what's foreign because we're going to go to what's familiar or what I've been taught.
So let me address Aaron, because a couple of things you said I don't agree with, right?
Fair enough.
When you spoke about the inverse, like how women say, I can't be feminine because I don't feel safe because you're not in your masculine, or you said something like that, right? And you said, but it's not accepted when it's reversed. Like men can't use the excuse that I can't be masculine because you're not in your feminine. Is that kind of what you were saying?
Correct.
I want us to say, I'm a person some people consider a masculine woman, right? But there are no actual masculine men who get around me and magically turn feminine. Never happens. The only men who turn feminine around
You're
me.
making my point though, but you're
No,
not
I'm
really.
actually not making your point.
Go
Because
ahead.
you said we will say I can be feminine under certain conditions, right? What I'm saying to you is the masculine men that I know, it doesn't change when I enter the room.
You're making my okay.
So maybe I misunderstood. So say it again.
Nope. See, Aaron, look, this is
I'm
what I'm
talking
telling
to
you.
Aaron.
I know I'm not talking
Do
to you.
that.
I'm not
Don't
talking to you.
confuse. I'm
I'm
already
talking to
obviously
Aaron as
not
well.
understanding. Don't
Be nice,
I'm
guys.
talking to Aaron as well.
Calm down,
I'm
calm
saying, see,
down. Just
Aaron,
calm down.
this is why you have to. This is why I'm saying as men, bro, we have to accept this. There's no way around it. But to your point, they won't accept us when we don't understand or necessarily confirm to their logic. As men, we have to though, because the truth of the matter is, regardless of what Prince Ella says, we actually love women. We actually really do.
So
Aaron and Venus. Aaron Venus, she wasn't understanding you. Could you repeat yourself or say what you said so she can have a better understanding to further y'all conversation?
Or just the part about how that explains your point. Like what is what she said made your point?
Right, because I feel like I'm saying the opposite. I'm genuinely confused.
Please.
Sure. All right. So there are women running around here saying, I have to be masculine because there ain't a man to provide for me. There ain't a man like that. I'm in my masculine. We have to have these traits because these men are not around. So I have to do these things, right? That's an accepted statement from women, right? There is no man that can run around and say, I have to be feminine because these women are asking me to be nurturing to women. I mean, nurturing to children. They're asking me to be attentive. That's a woman thing. They're asking for these things, but you can't have a masculine man and ask for these feminine qualities, right? But y'all don't realize that. But I'm not even going to go deeper on that part.
Wait, so then what was the comparison?
The comparison is I couldn't come to Venus and be like, hey, you and your feminine has really put me in my masculine, as opposed to Venus saying, even though I'm somewhat like a masculine woman, and I get around a masculine man, they just naturally put me in my feminine. The inverse does not exist because you just said that never happened for men. They're masculine regardless of how I'm acting, period.
But you have to connect the other part.
I'm trying to allow her to do it.
No, you got to do it. She's not gonna do it. You got to do it.
Yeah.
That's not okay. Wait, please.
Oh, go
Because
ahead.
y'all had more confusion. So don't men usually dominate women? Is that a yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah,
Just in your experience, right?
I dominate.
But I think the point is where we're expecting men to have more feminine qualities and then saying that they're sassy for those said feminine qualities instead of just assessing their masculine qualities, understanding that and learning how to adapt to that. Am I wrong?
Wait, no, it's not that you're wrong, Lucky.
You
It's
see
not
why
that
I
you're
said
I'm
wrong,
trying to
right?
it's gonna
understand
add
It's
what
not
more
that you're
Aaron
wrong.
saying.
Wait, wait,
confusion
wait.
because this is not helping me
Hold on,
understand
Lucky.
any
Look,
damn
it's
thing.
not that you're wrong. I'm
God.
not saying that you're wrong, right? The connector here, the reason why, because what they really want to know is why Aaron said she was making his point. The reason why Aaron said she's making his point is because those masculine guys, when she walks her masculine ass into the room, they stay masculine. They don't get to say, oh, this masculine woman is in here now, so I'm gonna be effeminate. They don't get to do that, but the women do. They will literally tell you it's all these effeminate men around here. We have to be masculine. That's the reason. That's the connector. Regardless of what she is,
You
those
literally
men
just
have to
repeated
stay
what I said.
effeminate.
So again, Aaron, I'm trying to understand. How did I make your point?
She's my op, though.
Well, I'm not sure exactly which one of my points you disagreed with. So you said,
Because
okay,
I can't ever finish.
I apologize. I usually go on mute when people talk. You don't notice.
Okay, so this is, but you interjected to tell me I'm making your point. So what point of yours did I make? You did. You actually interjected to tell me that. You kept saying it. So what point did I make of yours?
I did not interject. I waited.
Okay, so you said I made your point. Can you explain what point of yours that
After you finish your point, I said that. Don't do me like that. Don't do it. Don't do it. But I will answer your question. So the point of it is this, right? Because it can be an argument over. I was trying to simplify it this way, right? Women are saying they're having to be more masculine because men are putting them there because they're not taking their role of masculine men, right? That's just the argument. And I'm thinking to myself, how can a feminine woman become a masculine or have these masculine traits or do these things and it be based upon what a man is not doing? If a man cannot go to a woman and say, a lot of these masculine things that I'm not doing is because the lack of your femininity of bringing that side out of me. I would be really masculine right now if you was in your feminine, because the feminine naturally attracts the masculine. Pull those. That's the point. You see the connection yet?
So I understand. I guess my issue is, my question is, I don't get, why is that something to talk about? Like, men and women don't operate the same. So are you expecting that?
So let me tell you why, and I'm cutting you off so I don't make the point go too far. The reason why is because the expectation of what nurturing is, women are expecting men to do that, but that's the female way of nurturing. So you said we're not the same. So why have an expectation for us to have female nurturing? We only want masculine male nurturing. There is not an acceptance typically for that. Because when y'all say, well, y'all men don't do what we do, why make that comparison? Because y'all only want to make comparisons when it's convenient for y'all. But when it's not, it's men or women are different. And y'all do it all the time. And all y'all actually have to do is acknowledge the truth, which is really hard because y'all don't want men to be right, which is, look, when the situation benefit us, we going to acknowledge it. When it don't, we going to talk around it because we want the advantages of being a woman. And that's what we doing. Just say that, because men are not dumb. Y'all cannot expect to want a really intelligent guy and don't think we have the ability to break down a situation in all these circumstances and then talk to us like y'all don't know what y'all talking about. It's insane to think that we know what we're saying.
So
we know
cool you down. You smoking, Aaron. Go off. Okay.
What does male nurturing look like?
No, I'm not answering
Why
that.
not?
Okay, can I say something?
You know what? You know what?
Hold on. Excuse me, hold on. You said clearly we're expecting men to nurture like women. So clearly we don't know what male nurturing is, right? So can you explain that?
So no, I cannot. Because
so you don't know either.
Have not the slightest clue.
Okay.
Aaron, you just don't. I know
I'm
what you're doing, Aaron, but you have to acknowledge that it just happened, right? This is I just provided evidence to male nurturing, and she dismissed it because of her own opinion of me.
Podcast.
Exactly why you don't deserve any.
I asked the question.
It's the truth.
I let people come to their own. That's why I have to do this a certain way, because I
ain't
love
leadership in their eyes, though.
I love
Can someone else
It's not
go?
leadership, though, in their eyes, Aaron. You know that.
It's okay. But listen. I'm not most women's type of guy. I ain't gonna even front, and I'm so comfortable. As he said, I'm uncomfortable in my own skin.
Because you got a 9 to 5.
And I don't care. And I don't care. Yes. And I live in my mama basement. Yeah. And I walk everywhere. Yeah. I love it. So no, I cannot express to you what male nurturing is, because if men are going to do what men do, why are women requesting these actions by men, which are saying you're not helping us? Do da 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 da. No, that's what you do. You're a woman.
Well, you clearly, according to you, stated that we obviously don't know what male nurturing looks like. So I think it's a very logical question
I'll give you
to
a
ask
short,
a man. Well,
fair
what
enough.
is it then?
I'll give you a short answer. It's discipline. At the highest levels, primarily, is discipline. The nurturing and love that men have is discipline. And let's be honest, most people do not like to be disciplined, but we accept that role. And there's more things, but I don't like to give it. I want women to be, listen, when I started that first clip, I said, I really study into women behaviors. I try to learn from them. I make it an assertive effort for me to do these things so I can be helpful in relationships and dealing with people. I want that same action from the women. Go and be assertive. Go and find out from me, what do I need to do? That is y'all want love language? Men love when women go out their way to really understand men and really try to figure this out so they find a way that they can stop having conflicts the way that I do. The reason I'm so good at conflict resolution is I go out of my way to get this stuff done. I want women to go out of their way for men.
So let's get the definition of nurture or nurturing. Care for and encourage the growth or development of. I could make a argument that men are bigger nurturers than women.
I don't want to fight. Men or women.
I don't want to fight, but definition
all
alone.
you know how to do is try to position men better at women of everything.
No, but hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Care for and encourage the growth and development of. So that definition alone is explaining how men nurture. I said on my show the other day, I love my children so much that I will risk them hating me to make sure they are disciplined properly for their growth. When we talk to, let's say, our kids today, I've noticed that moms want children to have their way. We in this what generation are the ones that started that I want my children to have what I never had. Right? We're the ones that try to spoil children with things that they really don't deserve, and really we're doing it so other people can see us doing it. But I'm not trying to grow or develop my children that way. I want them to have values, morals, and character. I want them to be socially acceptable so nobody tries to hurt them on the street. And when we start to butt heads and I'm telling my daughter she can't go out at night by herself and she needs to prioritize maybe getting married one day, I am risking being hated by her to ultimately get my point across. That is how men nurture. I won't let up because I know what's best for her. I spent more years in this life and I have more experience than her. We are nurturing in that way. I mean, countless fathers could tell you that. But, women do it differently, of course. They spread love on the children. They have emotional connection to the children that I don't have to make sure I don't discipline too harshly, right? So it's a yin and a yang. I'll say that.
Well, even then, though, they're thinking, like, for instance, even if you, like me, I don't, where people may agree with or disagree with, don't matter. They turned out good. I whooped my kids. My wife, the way she responded, I would say, they would think, and they'll talk about it. They think that they would think that we're killing them behind that door. Hearing that baby crying out like that, they think that we're killing them. So yeah, the way I agree, Trigger Mike, the way that we discipline, it definitely is. That's completely different from women. And one of the things that I notice that we do as well is that when we do get down on them about something, we don't come there and be like, oh, you poor little baby. Like after they got in trouble, you send them off to their room, whatever the case may be. They want to try to go to their mom. No, go in your room. I want you to wallow in your embarrassment. I want you to wallow in feeling sad and tired. I want you to feel all of that. Don't go in there and say nothing like, oh, well, baby, it's okay. No, it's not okay. Don't go in there and do any of that. But then in this way that I do this, even the kids that I mentor, that's why I always say to mothers, you need to sign the contract that the way that we doing this, you're not going to intervene on that because you're going to end up messing them up in the end. They're not going to learn no lesson. What they're going to end up learning is that every time I get in trouble or disciplined by Mr. Ty, mommy going to come and save me and make me feel like I was right and he was wrong.
So, Emma, you're saying that you hit your children with objects?
Whoa, no.
I'm just asking real quick.
No, because MRM Mike sprung over Lucky's mic, and I have to speak up for Lucky because she is not going to speak over men. So I have to give her the space to speak. Otherwise, she's not going to do it. Lucky, please go ahead.
No question.
No, I was just gonna ask him because I hear what he's saying, but just do you and we're just the men. Do y'all see an abundance of men coddling their daughters or being strict when it comes to discipline? I ask that because when I first came to this space, I hear a lot of men say women tell their daughters get educations. I hear a lot of men say that don't worry about these boys, focus on school. They don't really prepare them usually for the quote unquote dating world. How to be better mates is usually in scarcity.
Thanks.
So if we're saying that I whip my kid, I know a lot more women who willing to whip their kid and they run to the daddy for understanding. So I'm just asking you, do you see that in general or are you projecting from your household?
So what I will say in this environment, like in the Western world, especially in America, we are the home of punk ass daddies. So I'll definitely give you that. There is a higher amount of them than there are anywhere else in the world. And what I think it is that it's a sucker simp type of mixture, because like I said, I'm willing to be hated by my daughter and my wife to make sure that my daughter gets disciplined correctly. Other men are not. They're not willing to be hated in their own home. They will acquiesce. They will pay.
I think there's a combination of things, Trigger Mike. I think you have to take into understanding that a lot of men are trying to evolve and say, hey, maybe the way we've been going about this is possibly the wrong way. Women are saying they do not like this. Their men are literally adjusting, saying, all right, that's probably the wrong way. Let me adjust and let me do this. So it's not so much that men are weak. It's that they are hearing that they need to adjust. Honestly, that's what they're hearing. And men tend to make a lot more adjustments.
And you know what? You're right, because what were they hearing before? You're too harsh. You're too harsh. So they softened up to the point where they were no longer efficient, effective fathers. Because I had to even come to that realization, Lucky, when I realized that I don't like young girls that are scantily clad, like they taking this yoga pants and cheer short thing to the extreme at younger and younger ages. Then I realized it's not even their mom, they dad standing right next to them. What are you doing? So the dad is standing right next to him.
But you know my stance on this, Aaron. If you gotta whip your kids, make sure you got somebody that'll beat your ass too.
Yeah. So
they learned it on your watch.
Yeah, I'm not
whipping them for. They learned it on your watch. So make sure you take your ass whooping too.
Yeah, so I kind of get it, and I don't want to get hung up too much on this particular debate about the type of discipline, because there are more other things that men do to nurture, but I don't like doing the research for women all the time. I really, really want that level of care for women to go out and seek that more than they just sitting around and say men need to change, right? Because the men that they're asking for, a lot of the time, they're kind of destroying the stuff inside them that make them be this way little by little by asking them to do roles or things that are less than what masculine men tend to do. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't help or shouldn't do things. I'm saying when you pull and you take little pieces away from men, over time, you're going to get a weaker version of a man. And y'all can't argue that. It just is what it is.
Now, I want to say to, I think it was Lucky when she was saying that the point that she made also is that in our program that we have when we mentor, our biggest focus for first and foremost is for the guys, the young guys and the young women. We celebrate relationships. You know what I mean? That's the number one thing we push is relationship, because we big on family. We teach them how to thrive in relationships. We teach them the expectations that's going to come in relationships. Now, as far as like pushing our young females to get their education and all that, we don't push them to do that in a sense to compete with men or use this as some sort of leverage to say I got a one up on a man or anybody. We teach them that, saying that's just your due diligence as being an independent, self-sufficient adult, versus how they try to flip it now to where women only should get their education just so you can show that you got your own house, you got your own car, you got your own this and that, your own money. That's not what we push. We push those are things that any adult should do anyway, just to be self-sufficient.
True, but most men are hypocrites when they come to their daughters. I don't trust men. Like they are the worst. Like they tell they daughter this about men, these they give the picture that, hey, because I did this when I was a young whip and skip, like they give that perspective, and I don't like men are hypocrites when it comes to their daughters.
That's true. Yeah, all these men want is this. I was a young man myself, so that's why you make sure you go out there, you get that. Don't let no man. I got you.
They give the so when it comes to that, but like, y'all men is some of the worst. Women get game though from men. They like that women. Their father will allow them to see a man for most of his true colors. They may be given a bad profile of how men operate, but a woman be like, I know you trying to game me. My dad told me that. So they do get better insight when they have a man kind of break down, certain things. But, at the end of the day, women going to do what they want to do. One thing women have proven, they going to do what they want to do.
Well, I agree with you. I'm just
they're gonna do what they want.
mad because I spent 3 hours on the panel earlier today defending that very position because they kept trying to make it seem like everything that women do wrong is because of men, but that's neither.
No, that's fair. B Rose, did you want to say something? I saw you in the chat, and I don't want to lose your point before I go on to the village.
We're past it. It's fine.
I love that voice, B Rose.
It's a chat line voice. Y'all remember the chat line?
That's crazy. Yeah, we moved on to parenting, but I was gonna say, if we're going back to the masculine and femininity, I think we all recognize that we're supposed to have both, right? We're all supposed to have some masculine and some feminine traits. Because especially if it's on some sort of, like, if you think of it like a bar graph, like on a spectrum, the problem is that men think they have to have 100% masculine and like 5% feminine, and then you're just all aggression. And women will be on the other side where we have to be all feminine, and then they're crying at every little thing and manipulative, and they can't stand up for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And you're supposed to have some sort of, not balance, but even at 95% for women, 95% feminine, 95% masculine. Like, you're supposed to have that, but what we do is we take from the other side. Like, when we recognize we need to have a more masculine or feminine trait, we take from the other side, and then we're lacking. We don't stay where we're at.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, well, I'm trying to understand that. So are you saying that there's something wrong with a woman that's 100% feminine? So if you are saying there's something wrong with it or we don't need it,
I don't think there's anything wrong with being 100% feminine, but when we recognize we need to have more masculine traits, if we do need to be disagreeable in that moment, we will not just stay 100% feminine, we will like lose ourselves or lose our femininity a bit to gain our masculinity. Like, we'll take from one to give to the other.
Okay, I get your point, right? But what I found is that feminine women don't necessarily have to be respond that way. They can do it in a feminine way. They can disarm the situation and gain their perspective without leaning towards that masculine trait of being just basically disagreeing and disruptive in that sense. There are women that just totally go, I'm going to operate in my feminine and I'm going to manipulate this conversation that way.
If the environment allows for it, but sometimes the environment doesn't allow for it.
Okay, like, so let me ask you this true question, and I'm gonna just want you on. Does this environment allow for men to be masculine, or the men are operating in an environment where they are saying yes, masculine men is what we want?
What you mean, these panels environment?
No, I mean the America,
all of society.
Because you said the environment
predominantly yes, but I think it's becoming more and more less so. Like, I think it's 60-40 and creeping.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Well, I'm about to make this panel a little bit more feminine.
I don't know what that means, but I respect that.
And men, and you know, in general, like, these women need to stop lying about men being violent towards women, because it don't happen. I mean, since we lying.
No,
I'll say go ahead, Aaron, my bad.
No, I think the most of the experiences, most women I know, that does not happen to them. But I mean, it doesn't mean it does not happen. So
no, my point is that is for whatever reason, bro. Like, I get this thing when you get older, and they say that you lose patience, because we all have the same eyes, right? we might not all have the same experiences, but at this point, we all have the same internet, bro. Like we don't have to pretend anymore. We can be completely honest about what's going on in the world, right? There is the environment has changed for men. Like even white men are complaining. You know the environment has changed when white men are complaining about their existence, right? We have to be honest about that. And this is what I was saying earlier on the panel I was on. What good does it do us to pretend like we still in the 50s? We're not. We're in 2023. So we have to look at what's going on around us. We have to accept what that is. For a long time, I didn't think that all of this red pill talk was affecting the general public, but apparently it is. You're having way more young people starting to have these conversations, and you're having more younger women who are saying, oh, these men want to go 50-50. And then the older men are saying, yeah, these men are some weak men. They're not acknowledging that these men are responding to the environment that they live in. That's it. You want to make it seem, we're going to allow the women to say we're being more masculine because of the environment. But then we want to look at the men and just say, oh, there's something wrong with them. No, they're responding to their environment as well. And they're saying, we've seen too many men come out on the wrong end of the stick, doing it this old-fashioned way, where we court you and we marry you and we have kids by you and you stay for 5 to 10 years and then you leave me and I'm paying you alimony because you're never going to get married again. And child support and all this other stuff. And then when they say half, 50-50. Oh my God, you a weak man. You want 50-50. Yes, I want you to pay your way, because what you have stated is that you're equal and you can get to the bag and you don't want to be treated any less and you want equal pay and you want equal rights and you want everything to be equal. So equal means 50-50. That's what equal means. But we want to call these young men weak. I don't think they're weak. I think they are absolutely strong. And I think they are standing up for themselves, right? And they're saying, no, not our generation. We not doing it. Well, let's let you see how this works out for you. And then once you figure out that maybe this ain't the right course, maybe you'll come back to the table and renegotiate and say, okay, we realize that we ought not devalue men. We realize that you bring more to the table than your wallet. We realize that. You just heard this lady make a whole video of how her husband meant so much to her outside of his wallet. I thought she was being selfish, but at the same time, I'll take my W's where I can get them. She said, all I got to do is get up and breastfeed my babies and then I'm done. And everything falls right back on him. Not a dollar mentioned. So I think these men today, these young boys today, y'all keep doing what y'all doing. I don't care if you got a red pill, MGTOW, whatever you got to do. Keep doing what y'all doing. Keep focusing on yourself. Keep planting your flags wherever you want to. Whatever you got to do to survive in this new environment that was created by other men outside of yourself, you do what you got to do, man. And your boy is here for you anytime you need me.
Interesting. So, Beans, I think you kind of responding to what this young man said.
You wouldn't do a 50-50 relationship? I'm willing to stay single until I can support myself 100% and have a shorty move into my... You gonna feel me go half on the bills with her, right? No. You're bugging. If I'm already paying all the bills by myself, why would I move a shorty in and tell her she got to pay half?
So now you can save money.
Bro, I'm not about to bring no girl inside my house and she think I'm paying all the bills. That's not happening. She's gonna go to sleep knowing that she don't got to pay no bills, and I gotta go to sleep early, and I gotta wake up early and work. Very true. Very true.
Yes, 100% agree with him. The point is that when you come into this situation, here's the thing. Back in the day, women used to have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 kids. They don't now. Why? Because they know they have to be financially responsible for them. And they don't want their money going towards that. They want their money going towards stupid ass purses that they got to walk around with their arm like this, dumbass shoes with red paint on the bottom. Right? So they stop having so many kids. They understand what it means to earn $1 and have to divvy that out to 9 mouths. So they stop having so many kids. Right? So What this guy is saying is, look, my money is just as important to me as your money is to you, right? We're going to come into this relationship. The reason why you're going to pay half is so I can also get a break financially. So I can also have a savings and be putting some money up, not just you. You worrying about what might happen when the relationship ends. So am I.
Yeah, right? I get it. I'm going to tell you like this. I don't know how to balance that out. Meaning, like, women don't like to be critiqued. Most people don't like to be critiqued, but men have to just accept that it's gonna happen, right? I'm not sure which one is the right way. I think that it depending on the woman that you pick ultimately, but I do think that listening to women say certain things, I would break it down two ways. One, a woman wants you, even if you pay all the bills, she still wants you to help out with the kids. She still wants you to do things, and I pay all the bills. That's all your job. That wouldn't be an acceptable statement, right? So women are saying, well, if I pay some of the bills, I want you then to do this as well, right? So that's typically the case. So ultimately, I don't know if it's like what the old folks would tell you, but I just think that men just have accepted that women are going to try to get that particular way their whole life. I think that's ultimately what I've heard old guys say. Man, you're going to give it in eventually, man. Just talk to my old lady, man. Hey, I got to talk it over with the wives. If you really just break it down, at some point, the men just cave in. Like, honestly, at some point,
yes,
they tend to cave in. So
that's why my new talking point is for young men, particularly black ones, don't get married until you're at least 45 years old. Wait. Just wait. Forget it. Don't listen to these guys when they try to tell you that the box is terrible for when women are in their 30s. They're lying. Trust me, I know. I've been messing with women in their 30s and 40s since I was a teenager.
So let me ask you,
right? You wait till you're old enough, right?
Okay.
Because by that point, you can get a woman who is emotionally and mentally not a psychopath anymore. She can stop being other men's pogo sticks, and she can come and appreciate you for what you bring to the table outside of money. And New York, you can actually have that lasting relationship that you want. If you take care of yourself at 45, you could really have 40 good years left. That's a long 40 years is a long time.
It's not even that I disagree with you. Do you think, just to go according to the statistics, are most men going to make it to 45 without a kid?
No, but see, that's the thing. We preach discipline, but we act like it can only be one way. You can literally say, you know what? I've reached this age, and I don't want to wait till I'm 45 to have a kid. So I can plan out my kid. I can say, hey, listen, I like you. I've been knowing you for a few years. Hey, do you want to have a child together? Here's what I'm talking about doing. Here's how we're going to set this up. Here's how things are going to run. It's going to be all documented in paperwork, so we don't have to have no delusions about what is happening here. I'm not your man. I'm not your husband. I'm not going to provide for you, but we are going to take care of this child and raise this child in the most healthiest environment that we possibly can with two sane, educated, strong, working, healthy people. We doing it anyway.
My man,
so why not do the best
if
version
it was
of
that simple, paternity court would not look the way it looks.
None of it is simple already, though, Trig. That's what I'm saying.
In fact, let me put it to you this way: that agreement is always good until it's not. That agreement is good until you get another wife, and now she got to watch you at birthday parties with the woman you married instead of her. Nah, that ain't going down, bro.
Well, if I had that baby at 28 and I'm not getting married at least until I'm 25, my son will be at least 17 years old.
Hey, all right, guys. We done. We out. Show's in. I'm gonna save the village conversation for another time because I want to get into that one. But 3-hour mark, I'm good. It's been a long day. I'm sure you guys have more fun to get to. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. We're going to get back to it again. I'm not sure when, but until then, we're going to get up out of here. So shout out to